as simple as this to make your dream home come true with Bank of Baroda. Easy home loans in UAE and India with simple procedures, quick approvals and low interest rates.
Dad, let's go for a drive in a new car.
Let's go!
Drive your dream car with Bank of Baroda. Speedy car loans at low interest rates. Imagine it and it can be yours. Bank of Baroda, India's international bank.
Our team of over 100 highly qualified and experienced professionals are committed to add value to your business. AML Framework, the 7 pillars approach, policy and procedures, risk profiling, screening, and monitoring solutions. AML training. Emirates Chartered Accountants Group started the journey in 2005 by a team of finance professionals. United Auditing is the audit division of Emirates Chartered Accountants Group, an ISO 9001-2015 certified company, with branches all across the UAE and Bahrain, UK and India. Auditing and assurance, taxation, transaction advisory, mergers and acquisition, accounting and bookkeeping, CFO services, corporate finance, company incorporation. Emirates Chartered Accountants Group, ready to serve you.
Our customers what matters to them most. Year after year, generation after generation, we've been able to present premium quality with best prices for our valuable customers. Welcome to IFCO. From our headquarters in Dubai, we oversee 80 world-class operations across 40 countries on 5 continents. Adding flavor to your life is what we pride on, and we do it best through our wide range of product segments. Whether it's efficient movement by sea, extensive transportation by road, or expertise in procurement, handling and storage, we stay on top of our game to get our quality products from farms to your table as swiftly and smoothly as possible. Meanwhile, IFCO's professional products and services segment was specifically created to craft specialized ingredients for specific channels. To ensure that you have the right product for your business, Our quality team ensures that each of our consignments is subjected to a thorough and rigorous quality control regime at every step of the process. Our state-of-the-art facilities help us to achieve this, because innovation and R&D lie at the heart of IFCO. And that's why for over 45 years we've anticipated needs and delivered above expectations to earn the confidence of our customers.
ये आजकल के बिजनेसमैन भी ना छोटे सपने तो देखते ही नहीं। अब अनमोल को ही ले लो, 4 साल से जानता हूँ उसे, टैक्स कंसल्टेंट हूँ उसका।
2 क्लॉजेस है ना सर, वो मुझे समझ में नहीं आता।
उसने गारमेंट शॉप खोल ली, केबल फैक्ट्री डाल दी, प्रॉपर्टीज भी छोड़ दी, पर मजाल है कि बिजनेस का पैशन थोड़ा भी कम हुआ।
10,000 मीटर, आई एम सॉरी मैंने टाइम देखा ही नहीं सर। वो
न चैन से रहता है न रहने देता है, दिन रात सुबह शाम बस कॉल कॉल और कॉल। राकेश जी रिटर्न्स फाइल कब करोगे? ईवे बिल कैसे बनाऊं? यहाँ तक कि
गाड़ी कौन सी लूं सर?
भी पूछता है।
सर गाड़ी ले ली सर।
लेकिन फिर जब आपसे नहीं पूछूंगा तो किससे पूछूंगा कहता है ना, तो पता चल ही जाता है कि कितना भरोसा करता है वो मुझ पर। इसलिए सोच रहा हूं कुछ दूं उसे, जो न सिर्फ उसके बड़े बड़े सपनों के काम आए, बल्कि मेरे काम को भी थोड़ा आसान बनाए।
पेश है टैली प्राइम, टेक्नोलॉजी में एक नया नाम जो बढ़ाए आपके बिजनेस की शान। आजमा के देखिए आज ही।
So your business is growing, which is good, except it means you've got to change the way things work. See, when you were small, your people could talk to each other directly, exchange information, whatever. But these days, things are not so simple. Your company's bigger, there's more people, they're working remotely or in new locations, and you need to tie them all together. And to make matters worse, all these random spreadsheets and databases you use to run the business don't talk to each other at all. All of this keeps your business from getting to the next level. You need to expand to new product lines, new markets, new suppliers. But since you're drowning in details as it is, there's no way you could pull it off. But what if you could ditch the insanity and get visibility and complete control of your business back, both now and for the future? Well, that's exactly the idea behind Business One from SAP. It's a complete, integrated solution designed exactly for small businesses. It gives complete visibility and control over all facets of your organization at an affordable price. No more one-size-fits-all solutions. Business One is easy to customize to suit your specific needs without needing a huge IT department. So your people can stay connected just like the old days, and everyone gets the info they need, whether they're across the hall or across the globe. And as your needs change, so can the tools you use to manage them. Best of all, Business One gives you business value that you can see and measure. Your people become more productive, your processes are streamlined, your decisions become more strategic. Put simply, you're smarter, faster, more efficient, and more responsive. Which means less headaches for you and more money in the bank. Learn more today at sap.com/businessone.
Dad, see what I've made.
Wow, that looks like our new home, huh?
It's as simple as this to make your dream home come true with Bank of Baroda. Easy home loans in UAE and India with simple procedures, quick approvals, and low interest rates.
Dad, let's go for a drive in a new car.
Let's go!
Drive your dream car with Bank of Baroda. Speedy car loans at low interest rates. Imagine it, and it can be yours. Bank of Baroda, India's international bank.
Our team of over 100 highly qualified and experienced professionals are committed to add value to your business. AML Framework, the 7 pillars approach, policy and procedures, risk profiling, screening, and monitoring solutions. AML training. Emirates Chartered Accountants Group started the journey in 2005 by a team of finance professionals. United Auditing is the audit division of Emirates Chartered Accountants Group, an ISO 9001-2015 certified company, with branches all across the UAE and Bahrain, UK and India. Auditing and assurance, taxation, transaction advisory, mergers and acquisition, accounting and bookkeeping, CFO services, corporate finance, company and corporation. Emirates Chartered Accountants Group, ready to serve you.
Drive the Majlis on wheels, the BMW 7 Series. Arrive in style, in comfort, and right on time. Enjoy festive offers on the BMW 7 Series.
For over 6 generations, we have been serving our customers what matters to them most. Year after year, generation after generation, we've been able to present premium quality with best prices for our valuable customers. Welcome to IFCO. From our headquarters in Dubai, we oversee 80 world-class operations across 40 countries on 5 continents. Adding flavor to your life is what we pride on, and we do it best through our wide range of product segments. Whether it's sufficient movement by sea, extensive transportation by road, or expertise in procurement, handling and storage, we stay on top of our game to get our quality products from farms to your table as swiftly and smoothly as possible. Meanwhile, IFCO's professional products and services segment was specifically created to craft specialized ingredients for specific channels. To ensure that you have the right product for your business, our quality team ensures that each of our consignments is subjected to a thorough and rigorous quality control regime at every step of the process. Our state-of-the-art facilities help us to achieve this, because innovation and R&D lie at the heart of IFCO. And that's why for over 45 years we've anticipated needs and delivered above expectations to earn the confidence of our customers.
ये आजकल के बिजनेसमैन भी ना छोटे सपने तो देखते ही नहीं। अब अनमोल को ही ले लो, 4 साल से जानता हूँ उसे, टैक्स कंसल्टेंट हूँ उसका।
2 क्लॉजेज है ना सर, वो मुझे समझ में नहीं आया।
उसने गारमेंट शॉप खोल ली, केबल फैक्ट्री डाल दी, प्रॉपर्टीज भी जोड़ दी, पर मजाल है कि बिजनेस का पैशन थोड़ा भी कम हुआ।
10,000 मीटर। आई एम सॉरी, मैंने टाइम देखा ही नहीं सर।
न चैन से रहता है न रहने देता है, दिन रात सुबह शाम बस कॉल कॉल और कॉल। राकेश जी, रिटर्न्स फाइल कब करोगे? ईवे बिल कैसे बनाओ? यहाँ तक कि
गाड़ी कौन सी लूं सर
भी पूछता है।
सर गाड़ी ले ली सर।
लेकिन फिर जब आपसे नहीं पूछूंगा तो किससे पूछूंगा कहता है ना, तो पता चल ही जाता है कि कितना भरोसा करता है वो मुझ पर। इसलिए सोच रहा हूं कुछ दूं उसे, जो न सिर्फ उसके बड़े बड़े सपनों के काम आए, बल्कि मेरे काम को भी थोड़ा आसान बनाए।
पेश है टैली प्राइम, टेक्नोलॉजी में एक नया नाम जो बढ़ाए आपके बिजनेस की शान। आजमा के देखिए आज ही।
So your business is growing, which is good, except it means you've got to change the way things work. See, when you were small, your people could talk to each other directly, exchange information, whatever. But these days, things are not so simple. Your company's bigger, there's more people, they're working remotely or in new locations, and you need to tie them all together. And to make matters worse, all these random spreadsheets and databases you use to run the business don't talk to each other at all. All of this keeps your business from getting to the next level. You need to expand to new product lines, new markets, new suppliers. But since you're drowning in details as it is, there's no way you could pull it off. But what if you could ditch the insanity and get visibility and complete control of your business back, both now and for the future? Well, that's exactly the idea behind Business One from SAP. It's a complete, integrated solution designed exactly for small businesses. It gives complete visibility and control over all facets of your organization at an affordable price. No more one-size-fits-all solutions. Business One is easy to customize to suit your specific needs without needing a huge IT department. So your people can stay.
Hello from Yoshi Markets. Yoshi Markets is a platform for trading and custody of cryptocurrencies. In the current scenario of individuals who have no background of how trading works on established equity, commodity or currency exchanges are setting up cryptocurrency platforms with no regulatory oversight. We at Yoshi Markets distinguish ourselves as an entity which is regulated by a world-class regulator, the FSRA of the Abu Dhabi Global Markets. Our team is made of seasoned professionals who have managed and set up multiple global exchanges. We understand the dynamics of trading, the products, and the complete market infrastructure. To safeguard your investments in cryptocurrencies, investors should opt for secure and regulated market platforms such as Yoshi Markets. We have now commenced customer onboarding. See you there and happy investing.
So the idea came from my previous experience of setting up regulated and transparent exchanges in traditional asset classes like equities, commodities and currencies. So I wanted to expand my experience of running these exchanges and bring them to the crypto space, because at that time the regulations were missing and the transparency was not so much. We started setting up Yoshi Market early last year when we registered the company in Abu Dhabi Global Market, and they started setting up the infrastructure, the technology platform, and then hiring the team. So the biggest problem that when we thought of setting up Yoshi Market was the lack of regulations and transparency in this space. And also there was a lot of misunderstanding, and there was not so much awareness or knowledge about cryptocurrencies and the underlying technology of blockchain. So that was the problem that we thought we should solve by setting up Yoshi Markets, which is a fully regulated exchange under the regulations of Financial Services Regulatory Authority of Abu Dhabi Global Market. So we have the license of MTF, and we also have a license of custody. So we offer both the services to our clients who can invest on Yoshi Markets through a more transparent and robust and regulated environment. So Yoshi Market, as I said, is the first thing that differentiates is our regulated nature, and also I would like to make very clear that Yoshi Market is a MTF, which is like a cryptocurrency exchange. We are not a broker, we are not an unregulated platform, we are a fully regulated and established platform in the UAE. So the clients can trust us more, and they can trade directly on an exchange, which offers them advantage of having better spread. So when they want to buy or when they want to sell, they have a better spread, and the charges that we charge is also less. And since we are regulated, our environment and our technology is more trustworthy and more transparent.
Good evening. Good evening to all my seniors and fellow members. No, please do not look surprised. Neither 2022 is over, nor you have missed any communication of me being promoted as secretary. Secretary of the chapter remains CA Manoj Agarwal, and I'm just acting secretary for the day in his absence because he is not well. While we pray for his better health and in the next event, he will be back with his same wide smile on this stage as secretary of the chapter. First thing first, nation always comes first. India is our home, and UAE is our second home. Therefore, we'll start our event with national anthem of UAE and India, followed by ICI motto. We'll request everyone to stand up, and we'll request technical team to play national anthem and motto.
الله يا وطن गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
य एष सुप्तेषु जागृति य एष सुप्तेषु जागृति कामं 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 कामपुरुषो पुरुषो निर्मिमाणः निर्मिमाणः तदेव शुक्रं तदेव शुक्रब्रह्मा तद्ब्रह्मा तदेवामृतमुच्यते तस्मिन् लोकः शतः सर्वे तदूनात्यपि कश्चन एतद्वैता 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 एतद्वैता.
Thank you very much. Please take your seats. Living in Dubai, we are familiar with Expo, a global event happening once in every 5 years, hosted by one of the elite country. Since it happens every 5 years, the opportunity to host the event is provided to few selected countries, and we are blessed that it happened in Dubai in 2021. Similarly, World Congress of Accountants is a global event for accountants happening once in every 5 years. And this time, India got the opportunity to host this global event. This event is happening in November, and if you want to take the opportunity to attend this event, here are more details. Technical team, please play the video.
Geographically, the 7th largest country in the world, one of the oldest civilization, world's 6th largest economy, a global hub for innovation with one of the largest startup ecosystem. India, city of Mumbai on the western coast of Arabian Sea, among the most advanced and modern metropolises in the world, and the financial capital of India, gears up to host the most prestigious accountancy event of the world, 21st World Congress of Accountants from 18th to 21st November 2022, an event held every 4 years. The Olympic of Accountancy Profession. India hosts the event for the first time in 118 years since the WCOA came into being in 1904. Around 10,000 delegates expected to join virtually. More than 6,000 delegates from over 135 countries would congregate to exchange views at the world's most advanced Geo World Convention Center. The theme, Building Trust, Enabling Sustainability, will inspire the future of accountancy profession to create sustainable economies for the future.
The ICAI is honored to be the host for this mega event, which will bring together the world's largest conglomeration of professional accountants, regulators, leaders, and visionaries to advance the cause of the global accountancy profession. Now, with the ease of travel restrictions across the world and the situation returning to normal, we are working towards creating a never before and a unique experience for all our delegates. The year 2022 marks the 75th year of India's independence, and the Government of India is celebrating the year in a big way to showcase the glorious history of India. World Congress of Accountants 2022 would also be celebrated as a mega event to showcase the important role that the accountancy profession has been playing in the economic and social development of the country.
A never before witnessed unique experience of learning future trends, emerging avenues, enhancing skill sets, networking, and to explore the incredible India awaits you.
We at ICAI are pleased to host you here in Mumbai, the financial capital of India, for the 21st World Congress of Accountants with the theme Building Trust, Enabling Sustainability from November 18 to 21, 2022, and give you a professionally enriching and personally rejuvenating experience. We are hopeful that the conference shall be stimulating and productive, and your stay in India will be a memorable experience. Once again, we invite you for this enthralling convergence in India, the land of multicultural, historical, and spiritual inheritance since centuries.
Insights from the stalwarts of the profession, international and national standard setters, regulators, and trendsetters will constitute the panel of speakers at WCOA 2022. Let your dream get bigger. Come, be a part of this mega celebration. For registration and sponsorship opportunities, contact. Organized by Institute of Chartered Accountants of India under the aegis of IFAC.
Thank you, technical team. We'll request all the members to take this opportunity of attending this global event happening for the first time in our own country, India, and be part of the history. Moving on. Today's event is inspired by a well-known movie of 1971, which was called Kal, Aaj or Kal, which means past, present, and future of crypto. Do we remember early 80s, 1980s, the telephones which were in our homes with the long wire, that round dial, and when we used to dial, the sound will be something like this? Remember the dial coming in? That is what, in that era, talking about telephones without wire, which can be carried along with you, was considered a hype. But today, it's a reality. Everyone sitting in this room has a mobile phone which is not connected to any wire, which is completely wireless, and it is your necessity of day to day. Crypto and NFT is standing at the same juncture. Today, it looks like a hype, but soon it will be a reality. It will be a day-to-day necessity. So why to miss out on the same? Let's hear from our galaxy of speakers on crypto and NFT. But before we move on and invite our speakers, it's time to hear from our chairman, our dynamic chairman, C. Anurag Chaturvedi, about his thoughts on crypto and NFT. Also, we request him to share the calendar of the planned events ahead so that we all can block our calendars accordingly. With a big round of applause, please welcome Chairman of the chapter, CA Anurag Chaturvedi, on the podium, please. A round of applause by everyone to the Chairman of the chapter, young, dynamic CA Anurag Chaturvedi.
Thank you so much. Can we have a big round of applause to our Secretary of the Day, CA Jai Prakash Agrawal.
Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. Suresh Agrawal ji, Vice Chairman of the Chapter, C. Harikishan Rankabat, Past Chairman, C. Naveen Sharma ji, Nimish Makwana ji, my colleagues in the Managing Committee, seniors, guests, and all of you friends. Good evening. Superb. The Josh is high, I think, that's pretty important. So, well, as we embark on the very important topic, which is crypto, all around the world, this word is the most searched, most debated, and most eagerly looked at this point in time when we say about crypto word. right? Do you have an idea about what is the market cap of crypto today? It's nearly 2 trillion. 2 trillion nearly, right? So what this crypto is all about, I mean, I was preparing for the event and I thought probably I'm gonna put together my chairman's remark. So I was researching a little bit about, the crypto is not something very, very new term in terms of currency. We have seen changing currencies over centuries actually, right? So first used to be the barter system where like I have bananas, somebody has apple, let's exchange together, rice versus wheat and so on and so forth, right? So that was a very initial time when we had barter system. Then second situation came in where countries start looking into reserving the gold and gold getting converted in form of the coins and exchange. And then the notes have came in, which is again backed by the gold that a country preserves. And then fiat currency turns in. So we have seen the evolution of currencies over a period of time. So it is not something which is very new coming in. It's only that how we perceive and how we research about a particular currency that comes in. So does it mean that the crypto is a currency where we need to, it's going to be the future currency and we need to invest into this particular currency? And why this word investment start coming into picture? So while we look into the currencies from a perspective that every currency which is guaranteed by a government, which is backed by the funds, reserves of the particular country and the government back that particular thing, who backs this cryptocurrency? How many of you know that? Who is controlling this cryptocurrency? No one? So no one controls. Are you sure about nobody controls this currency? Blockchain system. Okay. So will you invest in something which is unregulated, uncontrollable, dependent on a factor that, do you know how does it this market swings happens? Like sometime $30,000, sometimes $60,000, sometimes $45,000 overnight this flip. Do you know that how this happens? How many of you know that? Nobody. I know, obviously. But people, I mean, this is the idea why we organize this event, because I want you to know why this fluctuation. Is there a mechanism for this fluctuation, right? So there's a multiple platforms. I'll not going to touch base on what all type of currencies are there, what all coins are there, what all the platforms are there, which obviously speakers will going to touch base. But my point is here, is that we have been seeing that whenever we do investment, we believe as a chartered accountant or a person, we wanted to believe doing investment into something which we understand, number one. Number two, which we believe is backed by certain things. And number three, we can hold it. But nobody can hold crypto. Can you hold cryptocurrencies? Another point, remember the last event when we had on capital market? So speakers of that event was discussing about buying the securities and keeping it for our grandchild which is going to come. Right? So you buy a security, buy a share today of let's say XYZ company, and you left it there and leave it at let's say my grandchild's and my family generation to come will going to use it. Don't sell this particular share. Can you do that for crypto? I'm sure, like I have, you all have that same kind of questions out there. And this is why when I was having a discussion with our speakers of the day today, I requested them. I told them that these are the answers our members are looking at. So friends, my humble request to all of you today here, present in the room, is ask the questions today. While you walk out of the room, you should have one single thing that I understand crypto today. Is it an opportunity? Of course it is a great opportunity. This is the platform where we can make lot of money. I was researching a little bit and I'm sure you all have done research, right? And in these researches you find that somebody who use arbitrage, you'll obviously understand how to do arbitrage, but when you do arbitrage, somebody has made billions of the dollars in single year. $20 billion who's giving out the
wealth to somebody. $20 billion is a huge amount of money. So do you think that opportunity exists? I think there is opportunity. There is an opportunity. But this opportunity can only be materialized when we understand its nitty-gritties, understand how does it function, what is the time of investment in crypto, and how do we safeguard, how do we monitor? Because again, as I said, that savdhani hati to durghatna ghati, which means we need to constantly have a market watch. And how this market watch can be done? Is it be done by ourselves only? Can it be done by your spouse? Can it be done by your kids? Can it be done by somebody else within your office? Or you need an expert. This is the critical question that you all need to understand today, friends, in this crypto event. So I'm also looking forward to hear from our learned speakers about basics of crypto, what all the regulations around it, how do we feel a little bit secure in this turbulent world and in this very hype market around crypto, what all the key currencies out there, what all the key platforms are there, and the critical question, is the time right now within the UAE that we can invest and we can convert all these cryptos from dollar to crypto and crypto to dollar? Can we all do that? Is it allowed? Is it legal now here in the UAE? So that as a professional, you can advise many people out there throughout the world to come to Dubai and do the crypto here. Right? You have this question in mind? All right. So I'm sure we're going to learn from the speakers today. So before I move on and I let you experience this crypto world, quite a few things. So how many of you know that what is on 1st July? CA Day. You all know, right? So what we did on CA Day, I started and I conceptualized a concept called CharteredX. So CharteredX is a platform where we wanted to invite chartered accountants of varied expertise, knowledge, passion, specialization, and to reflect them that they have done something extraordinary in their life. Because through this entire term, my idea is to encourage each one of you, to inspire each one of you that you are one special. You have earned a very, very diligent degree and very diligent qualification in your life, which will give you anything that you wish. So you all, we all are working in different platforms with different organizations. Some of our are entrepreneurs as well. So all of you need not to be fearful at all, friends. No need to be fearful that today I'm in a job, tomorrow I'll lose a job, will I get promotion, not get promotion? Forget about all the worries in your life. You are a chartered accountant, you hold such a great qualification, it will take you from here up and up and up only. Okay? So to encourage you further, I'm going to bring out quite a few members of our institute on 2nd July to talk and launch the first event of CharteredX, where you'll be seeing a person who is passionate about health, how he transformed himself from a chartered accountant to be a significant health icon. You'll be seeing a young and dynamic chartered accountant who turned out to be an artist. You're also going to see a very young and dynamic chartered accountant who turned out to become a theater artist, who launched his own theater. And we'll hear quite a few prominent personalities out there. So this event's theme is only for all of you, to come, inspire, for you to do something extraordinary in your life. Okay? So that's on Chartered Accountants Day. We'll also be inaugurating our office in DIFC. So with the round of applause for our past chairmen, that they have been working so hard for the last 39 years with this dream. And I am fortunate to start this entire initiative and make it reality. This dream is for 39 years. I remember the first time in my first year in XCOM, when our past chairman Naveen Sharma ji, he saw that dream. He worked very, very hard. He tried his all energy to get us an office in DIFC. Though we started in that year, India FC. And today, I fortunately say that under his leadership, I begin my journey. And today, in this particular term, we'll be inaugurating that office on 1st July itself. So big round of applause to all our past chairmen. And then, we're going to give you a little bit break because Eid holiday is coming. I'm sure you all are traveling. So we're going to take a little bit break a while. And when we come back, we'll come back with very prominent event, which is on digital world again, because digital is very important. How the robotics plays a significant role in our life, how it is changing, what all things are happening around. So we'll be bringing out that event where we'll be talking about how the robots are going to play along with us. They can't replace us, but they'll be playing along with us, how we can use that technology to accelerate further. An idea of these events, again, friends, is to get you opportunities in this specific area so that some of you start your journey, some of you accelerate your career path, some of you grow, and all of you blossom. So that's what the theme of this year. And after that event, we'll be having on 13th August, Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. I'm working pretty closely with so many people out there who is assisting me in terms of getting some prominent speakers. We are trying for Miss Universe to come and address us on that particular day. We are in discussion with quite a few personnel in administrative services as well, who have done a little bit cultural work and social work for our fraternity as well as for people at large to come and address us. So that will be on 13th of August. And also we are launching our theme for annual international conference. It's one of the big events. We don't want to delay it. So you all know that annual international conference is one of the biggest events. We'll be launching that event before end of July. So before end of July, you know that what is coming on annual international conference. I want you to spread the word about annual international conference. And guess what? Our secretary is working very hard today. He's not here. So on his behalf, I'm announcing that we have designed almost confirmed, a workshop, 30 hours dedicated workshop on transfer pricing. 30-hour workshop on transfer pricing. So big round of applause for the Secretary CA Manoj Agrawal. Okay. So these are the things that we are doing now. These are on the cards. So thank you very much for listening to me. And now I just invite our today's Secretary CA Jaiprakash Agrawal to take proceeding forward. Thank you very much, friends.
Thank you, C. Anurag Chaturvedi, for sharing the calendar ahead, and we hope all of us have taken note of dates and events so that we can plan our calendar accordingly. Let's move on with the next sessions. We will start with our chief guest, Sudesh Agarwal, who is here to address us on NFT and crypto. He is one of the prominent faces, prominent leaders in UAE who will share his experience on NFT and crypto with us. But before I request him to come to the podium and provide his special address to all of us on the topic, I will request our ever calm Vice Chairman of the chapter, CA Harikishan Rankawat, to introduce the chief guest as well as share his own experience with crypto and NFT. With a big round of applause, please welcome CA Harikishan Rankawat on the stage.
Good evening, our chief guest Sudesh Agarwal, guest members and guest speakers and members, a very good evening to all of you. Before I introduce, I would like to share my experience, not my experience, my son's experience with NFT arts, because on crypto he has already spoken, so I thought let me take this opportunity to speak on NFT. Are you guys aware what is this? Anybody knows? Yeah. I think you guys are aware of. And can we go to the next? Actually, this is Bored Ape Yacht Club. this is the most influential and successful NFT projects until now. And actually, if you look at it, there are a lot of celebrities, Justin Bieber, Maymar, and Serena Williams, and even Snoop Dogg, they are holding this NFT. And now the current floor price, if you look at it, it is 89 Ethereums, or approximately 110,000 US dollars. And the highest sale price in one of the auction, it was $3.4 million. Actually, my son, around 4 months back, he came to me and asked me that he wants to buy this NFT in 2 Ethereums. This is just 4 months back, ladies and gentlemen. And then it has touched around 160 Ethereums. And as of now, it is sitting on 89 Ethereum. I told him, please go ahead and buy. But he couldn't dare to do that because that time Ethereum was approximately $4,000. And he told me that I don't want to waste 8,000. He did his research, but he couldn't dare to do that. Although I told him to go ahead, he couldn't do that. So then, now you see, this is another monkey, which is like, now it is called as Mutant Ape Yacht Club. And this was created by Yuga Labs. And they have actually come with 2 releases. Each release was with 20,000 NFT arts. And then again my son came to me and he asked me whether I should go ahead with this. And that time it was 5 Ethereum, approximately 4 months back. And Ethereum was again running around $3,800. So it was approximately $19,000 or something. I told him, please go ahead. Don't miss the opportunity. And he actually bought it. So this is Mutant. And this is actually, I have taken this price from the OpenSea. There is one website where we are buying and selling the NFT arts. And you can see that actually he got first offer for $135,000, 42 Ethereum. I told him, please sell it. He didn't agree because he wanted to make approximately $500,000 and he wanted to become millionaire overnight. He didn't sell it. He told me, let's wait till $500,000. He didn't go ahead. And then he got another offer. You can see 31 Ethereum, which was equivalent to $96,000. Then third offer he got again 26 Ethereum, which was equivalent to $81,000. He didn't sell it. Now let's see. Now the price is again back to $20,000 and it is equivalent to 16 Ethereum. So from 42 Ethereum to 16 Ethereum, another drop was in Ethereum. Now the price is running approximately $1,225. So approximately now he is getting an offer for $20,000. So back to square one. But anyway, life has to move on. One good thing, this is my suggestion. You guys have to take do your fundamental research before you invest. But I feel rather than investing in crypto, you can invest in this ape. And you can take the decision. Saman ki zimmewaari yatri par hai. This is my suggestion, guys. But here you are getting double growth because increase in the number of Ethereum coins as well as there will be an increase in the Ethereum price. So you will be getting good return. This is my thinking. Up to you guys, okay? You have to take a decision. And now I would like to take the honor to introduce our chief guest. The real life story of Mr. Agarwal is not only inspirational, but worth of emulating. Coming from a lower middle class family, he has risen to feature in a book titled Top 25 Indian NRI Luminaries of the World, along with the likes of top personalities of the world due to his growth in business, social and political engagements in India. He has shown us that how by sheer hard work and persistent efforts one can succeed in life without compromising on principle of honesty and integrity. Mr. Agarwal is the founder, chairman, and managing director of Giant Group of Industries with diversified business interest primarily in manufacturing established since 1989. He did MBA in the year 1973 and his career started as a management consultant with Price Waterhouse in Kuwait. Mr. Agarwal is the chairman of India Trade and Exhibition Center Middle East, former chairman of Indian Business and Professional Council Sharjah, and board member and sector chairman of Investment of Business Leaders Forum. His name appears in the top 100 Indian businessmen in GCC, in Forbes and Arabian Business list. He is currently engaged in the study of Sanatan Dharam, and he is also writing a book describing value, duties and responsibilities enshrined in Sanatan Dharam scriptures, together with our culture and traditions. His dream is to set up a Sanatan Dharam holy city spread over 10,000 acres in near future. Mr. Agarwal devotes his time in managing several non-profit organizations in UAE and India in the service of community and his motherland, besides managing his own businesses. He is the first one to own Rolls-Royce in Dubai, or in UAE rather, and he is also serving as the president of Indian Gulf Society. Ladies and gentlemen, could you please put your hands together to welcome our chief guest, Mr. Sudesh Agarwal, to share his words of wisdom.
Thank you very much, Agarwal, and thank you very much, the Vice Chairman. First of all, I would like to make a correction which Mr. Agarwal mentioned, that I will be speaking on NFT and crypto and all those things. Let me just tell you that I will be doing nothing of that kind. Okay? Because the reason being why I won't do that is not that I'm not knowledgeable enough to speak, but I have speakers here, the eminent speakers on this subject, who will be enlightening you all what it is all about. And I will be also one of the listeners to that. So I think that is the small thing I want to mention. And today, my address goes to thank you very much, Mr. Anurag, and for inviting me over here, the chairman of the chapter, the past chairman, who are all here, and they have been known to me one way or the other, and members of the managing committee, honorable speakers of today's function, and members of the chapter, who are in large number. I can see them, they are in large number over here. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is my honor to be here to address this august gathering of professionals. Why I am here, that is a question which actually I asked. Why me to be the chief guest on a function of this knowledgeable chartered accountants? We gather knowledge from them, not I have to give them the knowledge. Because they are all very qualified, they have studied very hard, and they are very book readers. They will read any book, they will do anything. Any law you give them, they will study it. And so knowledge is not a really I need to transfer to them. So, in this context, when Mr. Anurag, Mr. Naveen Sharma visited my office, asking me to the chief guest on this function, I asked them one question. I said, your members are very knowledgeable people. What do you want me to speak? Actually, I gather knowledge from them. And we had at length, we had a discussion on that. They said to me, sir, you have first generation successful person. You have a lot of experience in creating organizations. And we would like to hear, how did you do it? And what it takes to do it. Because all youngsters today, they want to do it. But what it takes to do it, I think that was something which I said, I like it. I like to do that. I like to share my experiences. Knowledge you can acquire. Knowledge you have it. Knowledge is not the problem. I think experiences you cannot have it until you go through that. I have gone through that. So I will share with you on that how you do it. What are the principles? What are the beliefs you have to have inculcated within yourself that yes, I can do it. I think that is what I will speak today. Crypto, I will leave to the speakers. NFT, I leave it to the speakers. They will handle it very professionally. I will leave it to them. Little bit I will tell that I belong to a very lower middle class family. And I qualified BCom with a flying colors, top in the university, with the accountancy and all these financial management and all that thing. My friends went into the chartered accountancy, all of them. They said, we want to do CA, we want to do CA, but I said, no, I don't want to do CA. They qualified in the first instance. I said, no, 4 years is too much for me. I will do a 2-year course, and I went into doing MBA. I finished MBA, and then I said, I have to move on. I have to be economically independent. So, like a young man, you have an aspirations. And after that, I said, look, Gulf was the area at that time. I'm talking about 1975. OPEC was formed. The growth was taking place over here. This was the area to make money. But I had no money to come. Not even $1 in my pocket to come. How to reach here? How to get here? No visa. The visa regime was very tight. My brother, elder brother, supported me. He said, I will send you. But be prepared for the hardships. I said, I am ready. You see, this is something which every member here present should really see that how it takes. I took the flight, which is a 20-minute flight from Amritsar to Kabul, because that was the cheapest way to reach. And then took a 44-hour bus to Iran. 44 hours in the bus. And that bus is a Fatta-style bus. It's not a luxury bus. You sit on a Fatta. Okay? And no water, 5 hours, no water. Nothing in Afghanistan. I traveled that. Then from Iran, couldn't get a job. Got from there, landed in Kuwait. In Kuwait, stayed in a Gurdwara. Now see how you have the challenges you have to manage. Because you stay in a Gurdwara, and I am a qualified person. I stayed, after I moved from the Gurdwara, we were 6 people in one room. Carpenters, labor. They were the people with whom I stayed with them. You wouldn't like to do that. I wouldn't like to tell you that what I experienced that time. Finally, my qualification worked. I got the job. I got the job as a management consultant with Pricewaterhouse. And then they moved me here in Dubai. And I landed in Dubai. I exactly remember the date. It is the 3rd November 1975, I landed in Dubai. That is how I came here. But this is my small journey to really get into it. But this doesn't end here. The working life started, hard time continued, and I grew in my profession. I grew with Pricewaterhouse. I wouldn't mind sharing that when I left Pricewaterhouse in 1979, I was paid 5,000 dirham salary at that point of time at a car and a house. That was my remuneration. But I left it. I will tell you why I left it. Okay? I left the job because it was not taking me to where I was going. I wanted to go to Mumbai. That train was taking me to Delhi. I could never reach to Mumbai if I sit on that train. So I have decided that I will change. I changed that train. I changed that train with 1 year notice to Pricewaterhouse. They were not letting me go. I left that. And I left that on what? Not that I was getting 5,000, I'm getting 10,000 dirham. No. My remuneration was reduced from 5,000 to 1,000. From 5,000 to 1,000. That is the risk you have to take when you want to really grow in your life. And since then, I have lived, grown with certain principles, certain beliefs. And I will share with you those beliefs. And those are the beliefs I will say that if anybody can take it, but they can be arduous, they can be dangerous, they can be really sustaining them. May result to you benefits, may not result to you benefits, but this is the beliefs you have to believe in. The first belief I had was that the economic independence is prerequisite to your independent thoughts and actions. Please, I will repeat this. Economic independence is prerequisite to your independent thoughts and actions. Now, this applies throughout your life. You are depending on parents. Why? Because you are economically dependent on them. You have to listen to them. Your corporates, your manager, all these people, you have to listen to them even if you do not agree, because you are economically dependent one way or the other. If you want to be independent in your thoughts and independent in your actions, you must work to be economically independent. If you are not, then first of all, you try to be economically independent. That should be your first priority, and that is what I did. That is exactly what I did. I said, I will become economically independent. I will put all my efforts to become economically independent. And that is what my journey started. And I became, after hard work, economically independent. I gained the second principle I lived by myself. You see, whatever I'm sharing with you today is something which I have personally lived. Not that I am really theoretically talking about it. By working hard, you have chance to succeed. Otherwise, failure is guaranteed. You have chance to succeed. The success is not granted by working hard, but you have chance to succeed. But if you do not work hard, you take it life easy, then failure is guaranteed. You are not going to succeed. So I think that is the second principle I lived with, and I will share with you that when I started my factory in 1989, I worked for 10 years 16 hours a day. 16 hours a day. And that is not for 1 year or 1 month or 6 months. It is 10 years. No weekend, no Friday, no Saturday, nothing. First to enter the factory and last to leave the factory. That is what I did. So that is what you have to do. And there is something else I leave. To achieve extra in life, you need to run extra mile. If you do not run the extra mile, you will not achieve the extra. Normally you will achieve. But if you want to achieve extra, then you have to run the extra mile. And there is something which I have written a quote in 1993, which hangs on my corporate office, which says, "One is afraid of nobody except one's own mistakes and weaknesses." I repeat this, it's very important. I applied this on myself. One is afraid of nobody except one's own mistakes and weaknesses. Don't make a mistake. Don't have a weakness. You will walk head high in the world. You will not be afraid of anybody in this world. But if you have a weakness, or if you have made mistakes, then your head will be down. There is something we all have, families. Personal families, your spouses. Now, when you are actually struggling to make life good, your personal life and work life, one of it is going to suffer. Remember it. You can't have something like that, I have a jolly good personal life and I have a jolly good work life. No. Either your personal life is going to suffer or your work life is going to suffer. Now, it is your intelligence, how your spouse supports you, stands by you, how you walk these two tracks together. If you do not, then you will have a problem. 100% you will have a problem. So this is something your own intelligence will have to see, that you try to strike a balance as much as you can. But to some degree, it will suffer. To some degree, 100% it will suffer. Mine has suffered. I couldn't devote time with my children because when you are working 16 hours a day in the factory, how could I see my children? My wife took care of the children. See, so this is the balance, what you have to do. And in pursuit of your economic successes, as I said, you may have to sometime change tracks. You may not have to follow the same. You have to come out of your cocoon, your safety cocoon. See, you are here professionals here who actually maybe CFOs, and you are very knowledgeable people working in a very high position. Some are working their own businesses. But you have to decide what you want to do, where you want to reach as a professional. And if you are a CFO, you want to run an audit firm, you have to leave that job and do your audit firm. You can't really say that, look, my job is 50,000 dirham, I can't earn 10,000 dirham in audit firm, I won't do it. Then you will never set up an audit firm. Never. You will have to change tracks. And you must have the guts of steel to do it. You must have the guts of steel. Otherwise, you can't. And what is the end result of all this? Okay, you achieve the economic success, you are very well-off person. If you are not happy, if you are not contented, what it is good for? It's good for nothing. At the end of the day, you should be a happy person, a contented person, a satisfied person. Just economic success is a very relative term. Somebody could be economic success with 100,000 dirham. Others may not be satisfied even with 100 million dirham. Be happy. The happiness, ultimate goal is you need to be happy on doing this. Now this is something which I said, all these principles is for the coming generation, coming youngster who want to make the first generation, who wants to really make it big. You follow this, you have chance to succeed. But what happens who has already achieved that? Who are already in the paradigm that they have already achieved. What do we do next? There is something that also to learn, where I stand myself. I repeat again that I am sharing with you what I did in my life. I achieved the successes. I became economically independent. I worked very hard. I said, now I don't have to work for money. I have to do my belief that what I like to do, what I couldn't do earlier, I will do now that. And I will fulfill my aspirations. I changed my track again. At what time? I changed my track at the age of 50. 50 is the age when you are actually going up and up and up, make more money. I said, no, money making is not my goal. Now my goal is to fulfill my aspirations. And I started toward that goal. Started fulfilling that goal. I started working for non-profit organizations, serving for my motherland, serving for my country, serving all these things, fulfilling my desire of playing golf, playing this, all these things I started doing. And I said, I will give my active life to my country. I started a political party in India by the name Samasta Bharatiya Party, and that political party, I am the only NRI in the world who, leading an opulent lifestyle here, left all that and went back to India. Fought elections. I fought 3 elections there, member of parliament elections and member of legislative election in Haryana. I run that political party. I owned a TV channel to profess my ideology. So I started IBPC Sharjah, then India Trade Center, then the Business Leaders Forum, then the Indian Golfers Society, all these organizations which were not making any money for me. I was actually spending money on them. But these were my aspirations. This is what gave me happiness. I think the people who achieve the successes, my message here is that when you have achieved the successes, start doing what you like to do. Even if it costs you money, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Even if it costs you millions of dirham. Really, because we do not really have the courage to do that. That is the problem. I think that is the message I would like to do that here. And this is what actually I did. I think I have given you my insight into what I did in my life. I would like to conclude. I'm very thankful that you are very patiently hearing to what I am sharing with you. I would like to conclude with, in another next 1 or 2 minutes, where I say every person is born with a special talent and a special characteristics. Use it and exploit it. They are not the same. Use it. What is your special character? Identify it and use it. Strike a balance between personal life and the work life. It is natural to have aspirations. Role of money in today's world has increased tremendously, but don't forget the values. Imbibe the values. Live by the value system. Don't let them die, because they will stand by you in your happiness. You will lead a life with head high. Remain motivated. If you are not motivated, nothing will work. Remain motivated in the adverse of the circumstances. That is the call of the hour. And don't lose character. If you lose character as an individual, you lose character as a society, that is going to be doomed. It is a matter of time when it will happen. And at the end of the day, try to be a happy man, a contented man, a satisfied man. With this note, I thank you very much for listening to me patiently. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Sudesh Agrawal. I'm happy that you did not talk about NFTs and cryptos. This was much more experience what we needed. The experience in 1975 when you were here, I think I was nowhere. I was not born also. That is the experience which we are gaining from you. Thank you very much for sharing your experience. For the special address, give a round of applause for Mr. Sudesh Agrawal. I will request our chapter chairman, Sri Anurag Chaturvedi, and vice chairman, Sri Harikishan Rankawat, to join me on the podium for presenting a token of love to Mr. Sudesh Agrawal ji for sharing his experience. And along with them, past chairman, Sri Naveen ji Sharma. Sir, round of applause for all the... Thank you.
Friends, one important announcement, very important announcement, that on 1st July, we need your blood. We need your blood because, we need to have a blood donation drive as always years goes on. And trust me, friends, it's a very important thing because some of you are on a very, demanding blood group, like for example mine. I continue to receive the call from the hospital that, you please come. If you're available every 3 months, you can donate the blood. So on 1st July, please take time out. It'll take, 45 minutes, 30 minutes sometime. Spare time, come and donate the blood. How many of you are gonna come? I want all hands to be raised, please. Take the time out. The blood donation is the biggest donation. It said, Raktadan is Mahadan. So all, please raise hand once again. Everybody will gonna come out there on 1st July, right? Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
तुम मुझे खून दो, मैं आज़ादी तो ले चुका हूँ. Okay, time to move on. Before we move on, I request all the speakers to please come to the podium for a group picture. And I also request our ExCom members to join us on the podium for a group picture. All the speakers. So these are the speakers who will be speaking to you on NFTs and cryptos and will make you money. Give a round of applause for all the speakers who has taken out time to talk on the subject. Thank you, everyone.
Can we get a box for it?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Time to move on. If any operations are allowed to be carried out freely, the chances of that operations getting corrupted or losing its sheen is almost unavoidable. It is regulations which help us to keep the operations in check and maintain high level of acceptability and adaptability. Same applies to crypto. And to know about these regulations, we have an eminent speaker who is founder and CEO of Yoshi Markets, Mr. Arshad Khan. Before I hand over the podium to him to understand the regulations around crypto, I will request my colleague, the humblest person in committee, CA Rishi Chawla, to introduce the speaker to all of us. A round of applause for Rishi Chawla.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The first time I heard the word cryptocurrency, I felt like somebody has pulled the carpet below me. You know, I was thinking like we're still learning to know how the money works, and now we have a new concept called cryptocurrency. However, what I've realized lately is that when the world changes, you cannot fight it, and there is always a good reason why the change happens. To talk more on that, we have great speakers, and one of the great speakers with us today here is Mr. Arshad Khan. It gives me immense pleasure to give his introduction, and he's going to talk to us about introduction to crypto regulations. Mr. Arshad has diverse expertise in financial markets and technologies behind it. With more than 24 years of experience, of which 18 years in UAE, he built strong relations with financial institutions and regulatory authorities. He is a board member of Dubai Gold and Commodity Exchange, and he was part of the core team which actually made it come alive as we see today. He also played key role in establishing Multi-Commodity Exchange of India, which is one of the biggest commodity derivatives exchange in the world. He is currently founder and CEO of Yoshi Markets, which is based out of ADGM. One of the things which catch my attention the most is that he's the man behind setting up 3 unicorns, which is a great achievement. So without taking much time, please join with me with a big round of applause to welcome Mr. Arshad Khan on the stage.
Thank you. Full house, I think 300 people here on a Saturday evening and another 300, 400 online. It cannot be possible without Institute of Chartered Accountants Association members, and let's have a great applause for the members and the association first before we start with something very interesting, and I think all of you have been waiting for it to hear about crypto. So first of all, thank you very much to the chairman, CA Anurag Chaturvedi ji, the vice chairman, CA Harikishan, and of course past CAs, my friends, everybody. A great welcome to the session. What I will do is just to quickly take you through some very intricacies of crypto market, because we have seen crypto has been in existence for last 12 years, and there has been many ups and downs. The cycle has been quite volatile, and every time we think that this has come to an end, and there is another something that happens, which again breaks our trust, takes away our confidence. So basically what happens in the crypto world, or what was happening in the last 12 years was the big part that was missing to give this industry a status of real credibility or get that confidence in the mind of the investors was the missing regulations. So my purpose of next 30 minutes, 40 minutes is to talk about how important regulations are in governing this industry, although we say that crypto or blockchain, they're all not requiring regulations, or they are completely decentralized, they are based on the community. But again and again, we are getting reminded that regulations are very important. There has to be a central authority who keeps an eye on what is happening, because that is where we have been failing miserably in the last 12 years, and in the last 2-3 months also we have seen. So a quick introduction about me has been done, so I'll just skip that. Before I get into my presentation, a very quick background about Yoshi Markets. So when I talk about regulation, first of all, I would like to say that we are a heavy regulated exchange based in Abu Dhabi Global Market, regulated by Financial Services Regulatory Authority of Abu Dhabi Global Market, which is like DIFC or DFSA of Abu Dhabi under the Abu Dhabi government. So when we started setting up Yoshi Markets, we were very, very clear that we will set up an entity which is under a proper regulation. And Abu Dhabi Global Market was the first of the regulatory authorities across the world that they came out with the regulations, complete regulatory framework for setting up businesses around crypto. Exchanges is one part of that, plus brokerages, ETFs, or any other kind of activities that you can do in crypto, you can do in Abu Dhabi Global Market, which they came out in the regulations in 2018, like 4 years back. So based on that regulations, we went to the Abu Dhabi Global Market and we set up Yoshi Markets, which is now in the soft launch space, whereby the client's onboarding is going on. So when we talk about crypto, we broadly call it as virtual assets because crypto is one part of virtual assets. Virtual assets is the term that has been coined by FATF. I'm sure all of you are from finance and CAs especially. So you are aware about FATF, which is one of the leading, I would say, organizations which is ensuring that all the financial activities that are done either in banking or any other financial services or even in the space of crypto are completely regulated. There are more than 128 countries which are part of the FATF, and this virtual assets term was coined by FATF to define or give some kind of identity to crypto. So virtual assets include crypto, virtual assets include NFTs, virtual assets include securitized tokens. So whatever we call, whatever exists in the digital form for making this, asset class a reality is called as virtual assets now. So I'll use the term virtual asset because this is the real representation of cryptocurrencies in the regulated world. So all of us know that cryptocurrencies have been in existence since the time around 12, 13 years back when someone by the name of Satoshi came and he published a white paper, and based on that Bitcoin mining is started and Bitcoin started coming out from the mining to the wallets of the miners and then from the wallet of the miners to the investors. But most of the people, when I talk to them, still have that misunderstanding that cryptocurrencies is just a speculative asset class which people can use to buy and sell and make money if you are lucky, or if you're not lucky, lose money. But no, that is just, I would say, not even 1% of what cryptocurrencies or blockchain is all about. More, if you look behind what happens behind the mining or behind every successful cryptocurrency like Ethereum or Solana or Cardano, you will realize that what the big problems of the financial world that these projects have been solving, which was not solved, unfortunately, by the banks or financial institutions, which have been in existence for the last 100, 200 years. And this is something that is happening using the cryptocurrencies or the blockchain technology that we have. So this asset class has been very new, as we have seen, 12 years, which is nothing in comparison to other financial markets which have been in existence for like 100 and 200 years. But every new thing that comes in has an opportunity, has a value, has something that is attractive to the people, but at the same time it comes with some risk also, because that's inherent in terms of what a new product brings to the market. And where this becomes very important, that when you have something new and which is not governed properly and it is a financial instrument, so there is a lot of chances that it is used or misused in financial crime. And that has been a reason that a lot of the time when we talk about Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency, there has been certain incidences that it has been used for financial crimes in the past. And why it has happened, again, because of the lack of crypto regulations. So what I would like to do is just to have a little bit of background on how this financial crime can happen using crypto. So when we talk about crypto or the financial crimes associated with that, there is always some things that comes to our mind in terms of financial crime. First thing that comes to our mind is money laundering. And that is one of the worst form of financial crime that can be used using any financial instrument. And actually, if you really understand the technology of crypto or the technology of the blockchain, financial crime like money laundering should never happen using this thing. But it is still happened and is still happening because of the lack of the regulation. So I'll come to those things as well, how these things can be covered. But first of all, as we speak about that, the strong regulation is very, very important for the virtual assets or cryptocurrencies to become the main leader, or in terms of get that position that they really deserve. So yeah, so coming to the financial crime, I'm just picking up one of the forms of financial crime that many times people like individuals or even a common man can fall in. And this is a financial crime of ransomware. So this is how this whole cycle of ransomware works, where someone gets access to your computer or your personal device or even a corporate. I have been into so many examples where large corporates have their systems being hacked and their systems have been compromised with a virus where the control of those systems have been taken by someone sitting somewhere in the world, and nobody knows where it is, and either your important files have been logged or your emails have been logged, and you are given a threat that if I don't get this ransomware, I will not release these files back to you or the access to your systems back to you. And most of the time, ransom payments happen using cryptocurrencies because that's the most easiest way of transferring the value from one wallet to another wallet. And that's the reason that these kind of demands usually come in the form of Bitcoin, that yes, if I have hacked your laptop or if I have hacked your corporate network, please pay me maybe a 5 Bitcoin or 10 Bitcoin, depending on how severe that threat is. So that's the second way, second step of this financial crime. So of course, since most of the people, they are not left with any other option because the hack has been so strong that you have lost complete access to your important data and you can't recover it back in spite of having all the technical infrastructure that you have, you are not left with any other option but to pay this ransom. And when you have to pay this ransom, there is a very simple mechanism of how the Bitcoin is transferred from one wallet to another wallet. And that is what happens in the third step, that hackers receiving the wallet, they receive this ransomware into their publicly identified Bitcoin wallet. You know, the blockchain, it's all about transparency. Everybody knows which address is sitting where, and we all know where are these Bitcoin being moved to. But the problem I will come to where you will realize why then we can't clean the system. Why can't we then have a mechanism where these kind of financial crimes cannot happen? So fourth, then what this hacker does after he receives his ransomware in the form of cryptocurrency, let's say for an example, Bitcoin, what he has to do, he has to money launder his Bitcoin. So the money laundering does not just remain in the world of the fiat or fiat to crypto, it also exists in the crypto world itself. Because that wallet that sits on the blockchain is always identified that has been used for the financial crime, but to remove that identity of the wallet, then the money laundering of the crypto is done using things which are called as tumblers or money laundering washing machines that exist in the form of unregulated exchanges. So there, all of you should realize what is the importance of having a regulated entity running a transparent and secure markets whereby these kind of activities cannot happen. So this is where this money goes or this Bitcoin goes for getting cleaned up. Because these unregulated exchanges, they have thousands of customers on whom they have not done any KYC. So these are the thousands of customers who move this Bitcoin among themselves so that the trace can be removed from the blockchain also in terms of moving this Bitcoin to different coins and then again from that coin to another coin so that nobody knows from where that original one Bitcoin came and where it has gone. So this is how that tumbler does the layering and multiple transactions are done to remove that layer of traceability of where this one ransomware Bitcoin came from. So once that Bitcoin has been cleaned in terms of different coins that it has been converted into, finally, this lands into a kind of a cleaned Bitcoin. So nobody knows, okay, where this Bitcoin originally came from. It got converted through multiple layers of transactions, and now it sits on a wallet which is like appears to be a clean wallet, and nobody has any suspicion behind what that wallet has been used for. So after that conversion, this comes to, okay, how will you going to convert this Bitcoin into fiat? Now it has reached to a wallet which is a clean wallet, and then it goes into the hands of the banks, and the banks have to convert it into fiat. So see, if this is the process that can be done using a simple financial crime of ransomware, this is how this cycle can be executed by someone who has malicious intention to create some kind of a financial crime in the ecosystem. And that's another reason that why the regulations are very important that we have to implement to get all these activities cleaned up to achieve the maximum benefit from the cryptocurrencies that they offer. If I compare cryptocurrencies to the fiat currencies, let's look at some of the disadvantages and advantages that cryptocurrencies has against the fiat market. In fiat market, we have seen, especially in the COVID time, that how much of printing has happened. Because of that, now we are paying the price of that overprinting with all the inflation and all the risk related to the inflation that we are going through. So that's one big thing that I can say is a disadvantage in the fiat world, is there is no control on the printing of the money. And there you have a control in the cryptocurrencies, because most of the cryptocurrencies come with a maximum that they can be printed to. So like Bitcoin cannot be printed more than 21 million, like cannot be mined more than 21 million. So these are the things that the cryptocurrencies has taken into consideration to keep the vices of the fiat industry away from the crypto industry. Similarly, we know that, okay, there is a genuine dollar and then there is a fake dollar. And we all know that, okay, there is trillions of dollars that exist in the banks or in the financial services or with us as individuals, which are real dollars. But we also know that there is another parallel economy that runs with so much of trillions of dollars, which are fake dollars. So this is another problem that the cryptocurrencies have solved. So you cannot have two Bitcoins with the same with the same private key. So this is one other beauty of the cryptocurrencies, that you cannot have multiple printing of the similar Bitcoin. So you have this problem of the fiat industry that is having a fake currency gets completely avoided by the cryptocurrencies. Now the third problem that we have is the usage of the cryptocurrencies in the financial crime, like money laundering. So most of the time when we have seen the money laundering activities that happen, is an element of cash, or the physical cash is a big part of a money laundering thing. So you have people who are moving big portion of fiat in the form of a cash from one to another. And this is how most of the time what we call it hawala or money laundering kind of activities are done. So again, this cannot happen in the cryptocurrencies world, because nothing exists physically. So I can't take out anything from my pocket as a Bitcoin and give it to you that, okay, take it, because I am not creating any trail. So because in cash, if I give you cash, 100,000 dirham or 1,000,000 dirham, there's no trail if it is cash. So I just give it to you, then you go and you spend it. Nobody asks if you spend 10,000 dirham in some restaurant or in some big luxury shop. So this is where, again, the cryptocurrencies come as a big advantage, that they eliminate the cash portion of the financial crime, which can result into a lot of cleanup if money laundering has to be removed. But again, when we see these financial crimes happening using the cryptocurrencies, it's all because this industry is not really regulated to the level that it should have been. And I think in the next few years, we will have that regulations coming in, and then we will see the real potential of cryptocurrencies in terms of its usage and in terms of it being the safest option to avoid money laundering, to avoid any kind of financial crime. So these are the things that are going to be the future of the cryptocurrencies, and that's why we, or so many now in the world, believe that this is the future of the financial markets. So now how, like we always say, okay, it's very good to have regulations, it's very good to have a cleanup of the system, but what needs to be done? What really needs to be done to bring that credibility, bring that maturity in this asset class, which is still missing, unfortunately. So nothing major is required. Like, I'm not saying you have to bring some central bank who will supervise the crypto market across the world, or you have to bring someone as a single authority who will become like a Fed, or who will become like a statutory authority who will then govern what happens in Bitcoin, or how it can be mined, or how it can be used. No. I think those things can be kept away if this industry has to remove the problems of the fiat industry. I think the way it is operating is perfect, it's wonderful. Only thing that we need to have a certain good practices are these 4 key steps. First of all, any business which is related to crypto, not just we as an exchange or anybody who is in the similar kind of business, but anyone, even you, who is going to, let's say, after hearing all the session today, get interested to go into crypto market, play a little bit and see and have some experience, is to, first of all, register on legitimate platforms. The biggest problem in crypto market has been, out of all the 20,000-30,000 platforms that exist, 80% are unregulated. I'm not saying all 80% are bad. Some of them are very much with the right intention. Of course, they have not gone through the pain that it takes to really go through a regulated entity and getting a regulated license. But the element is that out of that 80%, majority of them can be someone who can run away with your money. So having a KYC and doing a proper due diligence of the platform that you are going to register is very important. Similarly, for the platform to register you is also very important. So don't get bogged down by a platform when he asks you 10 questions or 20 questions, very important. So many clients come to me and tell me, oh, I'm not happy with Yoshi Market, your onboarding process is very cumbersome, it took me like 10 minutes or 15 minutes, and you ask me my residential address, you ask me my passport copy, you ask me my income proof. But yes, that's important, because if you want to keep your investment safe, if you want to deal with another counterparty who is also clean and who has not done any financial crime, you have to pass through these regulations, you have to pass through these forms. Otherwise, go on any platform, they are more than happy to onboard you even without asking you your name. But tomorrow, if you do any transaction on that platform, and that platform gives you one Bitcoin, which has come, let's say, from some ransomware site, or it has come from someone from Al-Qaeda, what you will do? Because your wallet will get connected to that wallet. So it is very important to go to platforms who actually ask you all these questions and make sure that identity of the customer has been disclosed and identity of his documents have been disclosed. So this is an important thing, that information of customers that the platform is asking is the most important part of cleanup of this system. So once we have identity of all the users in the system, that's when I think it becomes a more sustainable and more credible market. Because what happens in the crypto market, as I'm not sure how many people here are aware about, that everything is digital, it all exists in the form of electronic. So what is with you is just in your mobile phone or on your hard drive or on some third-party drive. So that's why that drive or that your wallet address comes with a address which is always available on the blockchain. But the problem is in the current system that who is owning that address or who is owning that wallet is not clear. So not many people or not many entities who are providing crypto services, they really know who are the people or who are the real owners of these crypto assets behind these wallet addresses. And that's where the whole problem starts. So now we as regulated exchanges, now we are doing that cleanup that, okay, whenever any client comes to us or any user comes to us, we have to first identify himself and then link his identity to his wallet address. And that's, I think, something very important if we have to achieve the second 2 points, that we don't provide any service to the suspected terrorist or sanction list. And the second point, that we should have a very effective anti-money laundering compliance and transaction monitoring. So transaction monitoring is also something very unique with the crypto market. When there is a transfer of wallet to wallet, when there is a Bitcoin being transferred from one wallet to another wallet, so monitoring that wallet, whether that wallet has been used for any financial crime, is also very important. And the beauty of the blockchain and the beauty of the technology on which this whole thing has built, I can, using my system, see all the wallets right from the very first Bitcoin that has been mined till now, from whose wallet this Bitcoin has been moved. And now using the latest software and analysis system, we can rank each and every wallet that exists on the public blockchain, whether it has been used for any financial crime or not. So we have a ranking system which gives an immediate alert from 1 to 10 that using, let's say this Bitcoin was mined in 2012. And now this Bitcoin has received by some of the users in our exchange, let's say after 10 years. So I can map this Bitcoin which has been received today till the 10 years back and through which wallet it has moved, and out of that any wallet has been used for any financial crime. And if that comes out, then there is a flag which needs to be informed to the regulatory authorities. And that's how, if you see, if you have seen the last 1 year especially, there has been very successful cases that has been cracked by FBI. Like before, when you used to have a hack on an exchange and the coins have been moved, there was no way that you can get back those coins. But now in the last 1 year especially, we are seeing that a lot of such hacks have been converted back. Because now we know that wallet addresses to whom it belongs, and immediately the regulatory authorities or the criminal investigation authorities can pinpoint to that particular user and can transfer the wallet back to the actual owner of that particular asset. So talking about the global map, because this is again something we are not very clear with, that okay, across the world, which are the countries which have started accepting the crypto regulations, or whether they are positive about it or they are negative about it. So this is a kind of a rough representation where we exist right now in terms of adoption of the crypto regulations. So we have seen UAE, even Bahrain, we have moved significantly ahead in terms of the adopting of the crypto regulations. Similarly, other jurisdictions like Japan have been ahead, Singapore has been ahead, India is still not clear whether yes or not, but although they have said they will tax the cryptocurrencies transactions. Similarly, Switzerland is far ahead. So this is a representation. If we have seen this chart maybe 2 years back, it would have been just gray throughout. But now we can see that there is a footprint that is actually covering most, like more than 50% of the jurisdictions in the world, that at least they have an opinion on cryptocurrencies. This green doesn't say that it's all yes everywhere. It says that yes, whether they have said yes or they have said no. So this is how this representation we have seen, that where we exist in terms of adoption of the regulation on the cryptocurrencies. So coming to the regulations in UAE, as I was mentioning, that UAE have been the visionary, and they have been very early mover into adopting a full-fledged regulatory framework to govern the virtual assets or digital assets. So if you see the Abu Dhabi global market, they have defined very clearly what digital assets mean and what are the digital assets that are being regulated by them. So we have now these are the different definitions of digital assets as we are talking today. So one of the form of digital assets that's the most common and that's everybody keep talking about is cryptocurrencies, which is like Bitcoin or Ethereum, so like non-fiat cryptocurrencies. The second form of digital assets is digital securities, which is a kind of something like shares, but existing in the digital form. So digital assets that have been converted or issued by the process of tokenization or the process of an IEO, but in the form of electronic confirmation. But you will say that even share markets are all electronic. But the thing that makes it difference here is that it is done through a kind of a distribution from the exchanges directly to the investors. Like in the traditional stock market, if you see, there is an intermediary that is involved, which is called as brokers or members of the exchanges. But in the cryptocurrency world, this layer has been removed because of the technology expertise that the cryptocurrency exchanges bring. So there, the utilization and the framework that we have is direct from the exchange to the investors. Then the third form of digital assets is fiat tokens. Like we call it kind of a stable coins. You would have become familiar with the stable coin, especially in the last month with the crash that has come with the Terra Luna. So these stable coins are supposed to be pegged to the dollar or pegged to some kind of other asset class, which can be treasury bills or it can be mix of currencies, but they have to have an underlying asset. It's like a sukuk when we talk about that, a sukuk that is backed by some asset. So this is the form of a fiat token or a stable coin, like we call USDT or USDC. These are the different form of stable coins. Then the other fourth form of digital assets is derivatives and funds. And that is a good thing that again has happened in the cryptocurrency, that from the very beginning, the cryptocurrency markets was more spot market, which was 24/7. So if you have cash, you can go and buy Bitcoin. If you have Bitcoin, you can sell them. So it was more like a very simple spot market. But since last 3-4 years, there has been a lot of innovations in terms of developing structured products or more complex products in the form of derivatives like swaps or futures and options, as well as funds. So we have seen, especially in the last 1 year, there has been a lot of activity on the funds, because for an individual investor to go directly in the crypto market is still a little complicated, because you have to have your wallet address, you have to have an account with an exchange, and then you have to keep your private keys and public keys, and if you mess up, then you lose everything. So these funds come in very handy. So what they do, they just offer the tokens or the funds units to the investors, and using that units, the investors gets an indirect exposure to the cryptocurrencies. So this is again happening. So what you can appreciate from this slide, that this industry is really dynamic, it's picking up, a lot of innovation is happening. We sleep with something and then we wake up with something. Like 2 years back, nobody has heard about NFTs, nobody has heard about, like 6 months back, about metaverse. So all these new things keep coming in, DeFi, SeFi, all these innovations are happening, but at the same time, we keep falling in the pit because of one problem, that we don't really recognize the importance of regulations. So talking about regulations, maybe this presentation is a bit heavy. You guys must be wondering that we were thinking crypto is all about fun part, but what I'm doing is keeping things very serious. But I think this is what is very much required now in this industry, to have that seriousness attached to it, because we are dealing, as Anurag ji said, trillions of dollars. So not having that seriousness in this industry is prone for disaster. And we have seen in the last 2 years, Terra Luna, Celsius Network, it was all made for disaster. They came out with such complicated products that even the producer or the algorithm writer, he did not even understand. And even Celsius Network, they were like offering 8% return every month, and now see what has happened. They disappeared with around 25,000 Ethereums or 30,000 Ethereum. Now they say that we can't get access to the private keys of these Ethereums. Then how were you running a company which was valued at like $4 billion just like 6 months back? So all this was not because that seriousness was not there. That if I am handling public's money, I should be really serious about it. I can't just leave it to some coders or some programmers who can just program something that tomorrow, that as a CEO of that company, I'm also not aware about. So talking about FATF, I was telling you that FATF is a global organization that keeps an eye on the happening, or what can be done or what cannot be done in terms of the regulations of the financial services. So what happened in 2019, I think that was the most turning point in the crypto world, was that FATF first time recognized that yes, cryptocurrencies are a recognized asset class. Till that time, no global agency said that I am recognizing cryptocurrencies. So in 2019, FATF came out with a paper and they said, yes, we are recognizing this as an asset class. And this is like any other asset class that can be used for investment, fundraising, trading, speculation, anything. So that gave a different perspective to the cryptocurrencies, because all the 128 or 130 member countries now has to take cryptocurrencies seriously. Now they have to really analyze that FATF has said that member countries, please look at crypto regulations. Either you say yes or you say no. Or if you're saying yes, then you please define your regulatory framework of how you're going to regulate the cryptocurrencies. So that came in very clearly. These were some of the steps that FATF took, that if you are going to regulate cryptocurrencies, then these are the steps that you have to take. Like you have to identify cryptocurrencies like any asset class. If any crime happens, you should have the regulations of how you are going to deal with that incidents. And the most important thing that they took was this travel rule, the last point. So this is where they said any customer who wants to do a business with any cryptocurrency firm, if that transaction is more than $1,000, then that firm is obliged to do a full KYC of that customer. And that was most important thing, because as I said, there were like 90% of the platforms that were offering trading or fundraising or ICOs or IEOs were not doing any KYC. And this was the reason that FATF said very clearly in 2019 that you have to do the KYC if the transaction value is more than $1,000. So if Arshad Khan wants to open an account with a cryptocurrency firm, I want to trade something like $10,000, I have to give all my documents. So this rule made things very, very transparent then in the cryptocurrency world. So what happened? Let's analyze. In 2019, FATF came out with the regulations. After 2 years, there was a 12-month review that the FATF did. Now, okay, they said, okay, my 128 reporting jurisdictions, you tell me what you have done in the 2 years in terms of regulating the cryptocurrencies. So we can see that there has been a very good progress, especially if you see the point number 2, 58 out of 128 reporting jurisdictions said that they have now implemented the revised FATF standards. So they said, yes, we are implementing your standards. We will make cryptocurrencies as a recognizable asset class, and we will implement all the regulations to make it more secure and more safe. So 58 went in that direction. Then 52 of these regulating cryptocurrencies firm, 6 says that they are going to prohibit. So out of 58, 52 said yes, we will regulate, we are okay, the concept looks good, but the regulations are missing, so we are going to regulate this. But 6 said no, we will not, we are going to prohibit. So at least there was a clarity from 58 countries that 52 said yes and 6 said no. So similarly, the 70 other jurisdictions that have not implemented the revised standards, they are working on that. And I think now in July 2022, we will have another 12 months of review, and this 70 will almost, in my opinion, will fall down to almost 20, because now new 50 jurisdiction has gone in and they have said, yes, we are accepting regulations for cryptocurrencies. And I'm again sure that more than 80% will say, yes, we are implementing, we are giving it a credible recognition that, yes, we can offer this to our jurisdiction and people can come and trade in that, and we will have proper regulations around that. So out of 128 countries, if we, let's say, we have 100 countries who are going to accept cryptocurrencies, this is going to be a major differentiation factor in the minds of the investors, that they have an asset class which is now recognized by the regulatory authorities in their countries. So it can be a capital market authority, it can be the central bank, depending on which country we are talking about. So how we as an exchange regulate ourselves and how we regulate our markets. So as I said, we fall under the regulations of Abu Dhabi Global Market, which is like a federal regulatory authority under the Abu Dhabi government. So we have regulations that have been published by this regulatory authority called as FSRA. So they have come out with full regulations around the, not just the cryptocurrency, but as I said, virtual assets or digital assets. So they have regulations if someone wants to issue a securitized token, if someone wants to set up a brokerage for offering cryptocurrencies to their client, or if someone like us who want to set up an exchange as well as a custody services for our clients. So they have full-fledged regulations, and we as an exchange have to follow those regulations. And these regulations are again a derivative product of FATF regulations. So in terms of fighting the FATF issues, and of course we all know that UAE has an issue with FATF regulations also. So with us, with exchanges like us and with these kind of regulations being implemented, I think we will be very much helping the UAE government to reach back to the previous status. So as part of our regulations, we have to ensure that we are onboarding customers after doing proper KYC. We have to ensure that we are implementing the best AML and CFT rules, which are issued not just by the ADGM, but also we have to follow the UAE central bank regulations, plus all the other authorities that we have globally. And we have to do a proper KYC documentation from the customer that we onboard on our platform. So this is the regulation policies that we follow on the customer onboarding. Another very important thing that I wanted to add, and that's why I added this slide, because of what happened with products like Terra Luna or Celsius Network or so many of others in the last especially 2 months. And this I'm telling you from my experience. Whenever we used to go to our regulator that, okay, allow me to list this product on our exchange. Why I can't be like Binance? Why I can't have like 20,000 cryptocurrencies on my exchange? The regulators were very, very clear that, Arshad, we will allow you only those cryptocurrencies that pass through a very clear due diligence checklist, that we cannot allow you to list any product which has even 1% of risk in that. And that's something very important. When you list the product on your exchange, see, a client comes to the exchange believing that, okay, you are regulated, you have the best practices in place, you have the most sophisticated trading system, you have the best management team to take care of my investment. But if I give him a very risky product, what will happen then? Even if with the best regulations, you can't protect the market. And that's what happened in the last 2 months with all the crash that we have been going through, and is still not stopping, and every day we get another skeleton out of the cupboard, is all because of that. So if you as an exchange have to fulfill your regulatory authority, it's very important that you offer the right product to the customer. Because see, at the end of the day, it's a human tendency. Investor never learns. Even if he has burned like big time into the previous crashes, they still don't learn. The moment someone comes to them and say, okay, I'm offering 20x margin, short selling, or even 8% return a month, we also get excited. I get calls from banker friends who have been banking for like 20 years in wealth management. They advise their clients that don't go for products who offer you more than 5%, 6% a year. They call me, Arshad, this is giving me 8%, should I go for it? So this is the level of the, you can see the ignorance that we human beings bring. So if you have a marketplace which regulates these things, make things more sensible and make things more organic, I think you are doing the right thing in protecting the market for the long term. Otherwise, yes, you can have like 8% product today, you can value your company $5 billion, $10 billion, and then you can't sustain 8% return is completely, it's completely illogical. So these are the things that we put in place. Then we have trading and surveillance. We ensure there is no market abuse. There should not be any wash trades happening. There should not be any organized trading happening in the market. Trade surveillance is also something very important for the regulated exchanges to keep the marketplace safe. So that's it from my side. So I'm just happy to that maybe you would have taken something more from this session than just learning about whether Bitcoin is going to go up or Bitcoin going to go down, rather than look at the brighter side of things that, okay, how can you make this industry more secure and safe? So that's what I wanted to share today, and thank you very much for your patience.
Thank you, Mr. Arshad Khan, for enlightening session. Bitcoin trading is fine, but what is important is the regulation, the base of it, and that you have done wonderfully, telling us about how exactly the regulations are evolving relating to Bitcoin. If you have got the faith in Bitcoin, or rather in the cryptos, I think Yoshi, you have an event, you have a table there. Please do visit them and understand more about the product which they are offering. With this, I will request CA Anurag Chaturvedi, CA Hari Kishan Rankawat, our past president, CA Venkatesh, and CA Rishi Chawla to join me on the podium to share a token of love on our behalf with Mr. Arshad Khan.
Friends, keep your question to the last. We'll have all the speakers here. So all your questions, all your doubts, we'll answer today. But ask all these questions. Do not hesitate. Every question is good question. Just ask it. If it is good question, everybody is ready to answer, and every question is good question.
Moving on, how can a session on crypto and NFT be considered complete without discussing about the father of this industry, Bitcoin? I consider Bitcoin as Adam and Eve of this industry who brought in this revolution. We all know 2009 is the year when first cryptocurrency, that is Bitcoin, was launched. And in 2010, the first commercial transaction of Bitcoin was done in Florida. Today, I am ready to sell 2 pizzas for 10,000 Bitcoins. Do you want to buy? No, right? Because it has evolved. To understand more on how to invest in Bitcoin and how to mine Bitcoin, we have another prominent speaker who is founder and CEO of DRIFE, Ms. Firdaus Sheikh. DRIFE has been a revolution in space of taxi and rides. To know more about her and DIRFE, will request my colleague, the ever-ready CA Malvika Kalra, for the introduction. Malvika, are you around? Please come up. Give a round of applause.
To introduce Ms. Firdaus Sheikh, she is a co-founder and CEO of DRIFE. DRIFE is a decentralized ride-hailing platform powered by blockchain with the intent of empowering both the drivers and the riders without any existence of a central entity. Ms. Firdosh has demonstrated history of working in the capital markets industry and is a strong professional graduated from the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Please join in to welcome Ms. Firdosh Sheikh.
Hello everyone. Today I'm here to speak about Bitcoin and how to trade, and I won't be speaking more about mining, so sorry if you're disappointed that you will not learn how to mine Bitcoin today. First of all, I'm really thankful to Anurag and the team who actually found me and called me. A brief about me. Not sure where should I point this. Yeah, so basically, it's an honor to me to tell you all that my name is CA Firdosh Sheikh. I'm a chartered accountant by profession. This side, shall I go this side? Yeah, so okay, I'm a chartered accountant myself, and that's why it's a big honor for me to be here on this stage and speak to all the chartered accountants who are here in Dubai. I graduated as a CA in year 2016, and then as every one of us who wants to, excel in the finance industry and want to do something crazy or become a partner of a big four or a CFO of a big company one day, I also had a similar dream. This whole prefix means a lot to me, and I feel so proud that I'm a chartered accountant because it has in some or the other way helped me to be what I am today. Now from a CA, I became the CEO and co-founder of a company called Drive. Now, to all of your surprise, Drive has nothing to do with finance. It's a technology company, and I'm the CEO apart from the fact that I have a co-founder who's a technical guy. I still get to be the CEO of the company because I had this vision and a dream to change the whole paradigm of how ride-sharing industry works. I met a driver who told me his story of how difficult his life is working with ride-sharing platform and how they are stuck in the vicious circle of paying huge commission to ride-sharing platform. And my whole idea of changing this industry was so compelling that I started looking past my own professional career without even knowing that how I'm going to do this. Because I know we all can relate on one thing, that ISCA was the difficult subject that we all had. And it's very difficult when we are, as a CA, been told to, read and learn IT. We all have been there, done that. And I was in a similar situation, knowing nothing about this industry, but only having one vision in my head that, if I don't do this today, someone else will do this tomorrow. And this happened Drive. So Drive is a very basic ride-sharing platform. It's like Uber and Careem and other platforms. We are live in Bangalore in India. We are among the very few real-world blockchain implementation in this world. Drive is also world's first ride-sharing application which is on blockchain, which works to give back power to the driver and rider community, making sure driver get to earn 100% of the fare that a rider pays. We are also making change in how you take a ride by giving the back power which belongs to drivers and riders. You as a rider can choose your fare, choose your driver, and also earn while you ride. Similarly with Drive, drivers get to earn 100% of the fare while they drive. And they know the details of the rides, they can choose their plan, and all of this is possible because we decided to use blockchain as a technology, an underlying technology which will help us to bring users closer to each other, where they not only share value among themselves, but also reward among themselves. We all have heard about cryptocurrency, but cryptocurrency is just a use case of blockchain, and blockchain is beyond crypto. But because I'm here to talk more about blockchain, crypto, I want to talk a little bit about blockchain and why blockchain is important and why it is revolutionary in itself. Let's take an example. So this is a picture of Ronaldo, aiming for a goal. Now consider a situation where this was a World Cup, Ronaldo is aiming for this final goal, and there are a lot of people who took the video of this shot. Everybody go around and put it on YouTube or different social media channel. But there is one person who changes the video and show it in a way that goal never happened. What happens? Everybody will start posting the original video and show that the picture that this guy has posted is a wrong picture. Now this is what blockchain does. Instead of putting the information in one single place, it put information into a distributed ledger. So if somebody tries to tamper one specific information source, other sources give a confirmation that it's wrong. Blockchain is nothing but it's a distributed ledger of data which are encrypted and where you can always verify it, and it is immutable, so you can never change the data. That's how simple blockchain is. Now, another thing that you might be hearing this day is Web 3.0. And because, I was there and I thought today I'm going to talk to my CA fraternity and make them also sound cool tomorrow when you meet the crypto guys. So let's talk about what is Web 3.0, which is the talk of the town. Everybody's talking about Web 3.0. Now, before Web 3.0, let's talk about about Web 1 and Web 2. To start with, what was Web 1? It was basically a web page. So say, as a CA, you created a web page where I can go and read about you. But you have to, if I have to talk to you, you mentioned your mobile number or your email address, so I have to contact you there. That was Web 1, which was around 1990s to 2005. Then came 2006 and present day, which is Web 2, social media. Now, if I have to contact you as a CA, I can go to your web page, inquire about you, see the pricing, and maybe do all the transaction online without even meeting you. Now that's what Web 2 is about. We have all the social platforms, a ride-sharing platform, Amazons or Uber and everything. Now what is wrong and what is missing in this whole Web 2 as an industry, where they said it is all technological disruption, they also disturbed the industry. How? Because when they said they're bringing people closer to each other, they also started controlling everything. Everything and anything that you do on internet is being controlled by a centralized party. And that's where Web 3 comes into place, where we connect two people with each other without the existence of middleman. What is cryptocurrency? It is an alternate to the banking channels. It's alternate to how you move your money. Instead of a bank telling you how you can move your money, you yourself can do it. If tomorrow I have to send money to India, I can do it without going through a banking channel, through my own cryptocurrency, through the address that I have and the address you have. I am not dependent on bank. I am not dependent on anyone to tell me how I can move my money. So this is basically nothing but giving back the freedom. Web3 is more about the essentials of the freedom that is being taken away from us in the name of technological disruption. Now, there are a lot of aspects of Web3 that are getting a lot of attention. NFTs, non-fungible token, which is nothing but, say, the difference between a $100 note and a $100 note which has been signed by Shah Rukh Khan. Both of them has a different value. A $100 note which don't have anything can be replaced by another $100 note. But a $100 note which has a sign of Shah Rukh Khan cannot get replaced because it's unique in itself. NFTs are nothing but things that have uniqueness that cannot be exchanged with something else. Then comes another concept which is a very cool concept, and everybody is after that, it is metaverse. We have forgotten about the real world and got into metaverse, and now we will live in the metaverse. People are talking about play to earn games. Now these are all different examples of how we will go ahead in the evolution of this whole industry as a whole. Now, let's talk about cryptocurrency for what you all are waiting for. So it was 2008, there was a guy or a girl or group of people, we don't know, who actually created Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the first ever cryptocurrency and also the first use case of blockchain. And Bitcoin was used to transfer value from one person to another without someone else in the picture. Obviously, Bitcoin has seen its own downs and ups. We have recently seen Bitcoin going to like $17,000 a few days back, and a few months back it was also $69,000. Now after Bitcoin came a lot of cryptocurrencies. We have like 1,000 plus known cryptocurrency, and there are a lot that you can trade on. Now, because I want to tell you guys how to trade in cryptocurrencies, there are two most important things that you should know: DEX and SEX, decentralized exchanges and centralized exchanges. Now, because everybody is CA here, and I know we all studied about trading, we all are aware of normal stock exchanges, normal brokers through which we trade our own stocks. Centralized exchanges are very similar to them. You go to centralized exchange, do your KYC, put your money, and then you go and trade. What is decentralized exchange? Decentralized exchanges are exchanges where you can directly trade with each other without someone else in place. For decentralized exchanges, you don't need to do any KYC. Nobody will ever know who you were and how many Bitcoin you transfer. On the other hand, with centralized exchanges, they are getting more regulated by day, so you have to do your own KYC. DEXs are more, they have more security in place. They don't get hacked as easily as centralized exchanges. DEXs are not that convenient to use because they're still developing. They're not very user-friendly. However, centralized exchanges are very user-friendly. Then comes the concept of private key, which I'll talk to you again later. And then kind of cryptocurrencies that are available on centralized exchange or decentralized exchange. On decentralized exchanges, you get a variety of cryptocurrencies because anybody can put your cryptocurrency. Tomorrow you want to create your own cryptocurrency, put it on a decentralized exchange, you can do it. But on centralized exchange, they go through their own listing process, so very few less cryptocurrencies are available on centralized exchange. So when you start trading, you always start with centralized exchange. You never go on day one to a decentralized exchange because it's complicated. You learn your own way and you start with centralized exchange because you're already familiar with how to trade stocks. I'm sure all of you might have tried stock trading. That's why I'm not telling more about how the whole buy and entry into the centralized exchange works. Now, the most important aspect of the whole cryptocurrency is crypto wallet, something that you hold very close to your heart. Once lost is lost forever. There is no forget password thing that exists in the crypto wallet. So there are 5 types of crypto wallet that exist. So wallets are nothing but wallet that you all have in your pocket where you have your money. So there are 5 types of crypto wallet that exist. The first one is a mobile wallet, basically a wallet that you can have in your mobile phone. Second one is a desktop wallet, a wallet that you can have in your desktop. Then paper wallet, which is basically a paper. Web wallet, they are like Chrome extensions. And then our hardware wallet. Now your journey of starting to invest in crypto will also go through a similar journey. When you have so much money in crypto, you keep a hardware wallet. And you keep it somewhere close and forget about it. But when you start with, you'll always have a mobile wallet. But the most important thing is when you start with a centralized exchange, you will not have your own wallet. The centralized exchange will have a centralized wallet and you'll have your money with them. Only when you want to move your money from a centralized exchange, you need your own wallet where you keep your crypto secure with your own self. Now, I'm going to take you back to your CA finals where they also taught us about what is public key and private key. I know we didn't understand anything about it then, but now it is important if you want to know about cryptocurrencies. Public key and private key are the most important thing that you should know if you have cryptocurrency and you don't want to keep your cryptocurrency in exchange if you have so much, because we don't trust exchanges. Any exchange can get hacked any day. So what you do is, unless and until you're trading, you keep your cryptocurrency with yourself in your wallet. The only way your cryptocurrency can ever get hacked is your private key gets compromised. You gave your private key to someone asked you. So it's very important for you to understand what is public key and what is private key. Now public key is basically like how we have our account numbers. When we want someone to send us money, we give them our account number. So that's what you give when somebody asks you, when they want to send you cryptocurrency, you give them your public key. Now what is private key? Private key is a key which is like your password without an option that, forget password thing. So if you forget your password, it's gone forever. So when you generate a private key, you keep it really close to your heart. Or write it somewhere, keep it in dark. Don't tell anyone ever in your life, even how close they are to you, what is your private key. Because once someone has an access to your private key, they're going to take your all money and you'll never know. And you can never get it back. So yeah, this is what the difference is. You can always tell your public key to anybody who asks you. Never tell anybody your private key. There's a very famous story about a person who had a lot of Bitcoin in his hardware wallet, and he forgot his private key because he thought he's intelligent enough that he can by heart it. And then one day he forgot his private keys and he was never able to recover the private keys and never able to recover all the cryptocurrency he has in his wallet. So these are the most important thing that you should be aware of before you start with cryptocurrency trading. Because what happens when you're a newbie and a lot of people around will come and ask you like, okay, I can send you this money, send me your public key and your private key and you will get the money. Nobody sends you money when they ask you for your private key. Next, how to buy Bitcoins, a very basic example. Considering we all go through a centralized exchange method because that's the easiest way to enter cryptocurrency. So what you do, you find out an exchange which is trustworthy, go create your account, complete the KYC process and deposit the money for the first time through your banking channel. That's your entry. Your banking channel is your entry through a centralized exchange because you have to deposit money. Then that money is converted into say AED or USDT, which is US dollar pegged cryptocurrency, and then you can see different cryptocurrencies in that exchange and buy them. And if you want to withdraw, you always see a withdraw option where you put the public key of your own wallet, your personal wallet. Exchanges never have an individual wallet. They always have a cold wallet where they store value for all the users in their exchange, but you should always have your own wallet where you can store your cryptocurrencies if you're not trading on exchanges. Now, 5 red flags to watch for in the crypto space because it's a very volatile space and a lot can go wrong in this journey. Invisible leadership. Now, Satoshi and Bitcoin was a hit show. Doesn't mean everybody who claims that the owners of this specific cryptocurrency is anonymous people, you cannot trust them. We know a lot of cases where nobody knew the people who created the cryptocurrency and they just vanished. Who lost all their money? People who believed them. So if there's an invisible leadership, you don't know anything about people who created that specific cryptocurrency, don't trust it. Immature-ish or untrustworthy online presence. If you see that what they're writing about themselves on social media and different review videos about them, and if you're not very confident, don't go ahead with that cryptocurrency. If celebrities are endorsing cryptocurrency, a lot of time people pay a lot of money to celebrities to endorse it. Even celebrities are not aware about what actually is going behind. They just took the money and then crypto crashes. Next is, if it is not listed on a big exchange, don't trade. Obviously, specifically, initially you start with a big exchange because you don't want to take that risk that is this exchange also trustworthy or not. I particularly don't believe in this concept because there are a lot of small cap cryptocurrencies which are available on small exchanges which are also very good. But yeah, do your own research. Now there's another concept of token sniffer test. If you find a very new cryptocurrency and people are talking about it and it's doing like 100x, 200x, go to this website which is token sniffer test, put information about it. If there's somebody who's sniffing something wrong about that cryptocurrency, you will know about it. Another thing, these are some of the news that made a lot of, news in the past. Shiba Inu and Kishu Inu and I don't know what not Inu, they are all the meme coins. Meme coins are nothing but, which has no intrinsic value, which don't have any utility. They just get pumped and dumped on the hype that has been created around that. To start with, you want to stay away from them. Now, there's another example which was a viral Squid Game cryptocurrency crash. The cryptocurrency went like 100x in like few minutes and then crashed because the people who created that cryptocurrency, they dumped on everyone who started buying that. In this whole crypto space, it is very easy to create hype around the token and pump the token because a lot of people who create cryptocurrency hold a lot of new cryptocurrencies. So for them, it is very easy to pump that token. So you have to stay away from pump and dump token. If you're seeing a straight line going up, that means something is suspicious. You don't go trade on that token just thinking that what if, it's going to go high from here. Because you, as an individual trader, will only get to know about specific cryptocurrency when it is already pumped 100x. And then you will feel like, what if it's going to go ahead of this? Let me buy in. That's the time it started crashing. Terra Luna was a very famous example of top 10 cryptocurrency project that existed, crashed 99.9% and wiped out more than $10 billion from the crypto space in just 48 hours. So a lot of tokens have been created with the intention to, scam you someday. So you have to be very particular. Now, everyone's favorite, Elon Musk, who tweets about XYZ cryptocurrency and it gets pumped. You never know what's the motivation behind, who is doing what. So be very clear about what people are writing about that cryptocurrency, what could be the agenda behind new cryptocurrency specifically. Don't get carried away when someone tells you about that there's this new cryptocurrencies and it's just going high and it did like 100x yesterday and it's going to do another 100x. Don't believe that. You don't want to invest in something because somebody is telling you something. Don't believe in all the paid reviews that happens. Every time you read about any cryptocurrency, look for if the ad was sponsored. If it is a sponsored ad, that means they paid for that ad. It's not an editorial. Mostly believe in editorial that comes in, don't believe, because every time a new project comes in, they try to create a lot of hype around the tokens to make you buy. Now, you'll also say like, okay, it's only new cryptocurrencies through which we can make a lot of money. But it's also the 99% time people lose money in cryptocurrencies because of the new cryptocurrency. Now you are disappointed, is it? Now, let me tell you where to start with. It is not working. Yeah, you can start as low as $10. And this is my personal advice, start as low as $10 with an exchange just to understand this space if you have never done trading in cryptocurrency. Because you don't want to lose your hard-earned money. Now today you might get this whole FOMO that, oh, she told about cryptocurrency, we can make 100x, let me put all the $1,000 and $2,000 that I've saved and I'll make $10,000 out of it tomorrow. Don't do it. This is my personal advice, we start as low as $10 and first check how this whole ecosystem works. Get used to it. We are the smartest people we know. We can make more money than others who have made in this industry. Next. Now what to buy? Because I told you about what all not to buy. So it's a very easy way how to start and something that works for everyone, specifically when you are beginner. Now this is one of the cryptocurrency ranking platform. There are a lot of cryptocurrency ranking platform. You can go and check for cryptocurrency prices by market cap, like how much money is already kept into that specific cryptocurrency. You can choose from top 10 or top 20 cryptocurrency to start with. Why top 20 or top 10 cryptocurrency? Because they are the most trusted cryptocurrency and they have a lot of money invested into it already. So your chances of not losing a lot of money is because if you look at the top currencies that is already proven, that's already there for years, you start from those cryptocurrencies. Obviously, you start with Bitcoin, then there's Ethereum, BNB, which is a Binance coin, XRP. So these are the coins you can try with. Always go with the top list when you are starting. Don't go with a cryptocurrency who has done like 100x. Like don't filter it that way. Filter it with what is the highest market cap and we start there. Now these are top cryptocurrency tips. Do your own research. Never believe anybody who ever tells you what about any cryptocurrency. You should always research on your own. Read about that cryptocurrency before you invest in that cryptocurrency. You should always do the fundamental analysis of cryptocurrency or the technical analysis of that cryptocurrency if possible before you invest. Keep your crypto safe. Never give your private key to anyone. If someone says like send me this much cryptocurrency, I can give you XYZ return, never do that. There are a lot of people who are sitting there waiting for newbies to enter into this market so they can scam them. Be prepared for the market cycle. The cryptocurrency market runs on two cycles, bear cycle and bull cycle. We are now in a bear cycle where the market has came down. So this is, in cryptocurrency, I have personally seen a time when crypto was $3,000, went to $20,000, went again through $3,000, and then went to $69,000, to now when it is back to $21,000. So this is how it works. But if you see in a longer run, in 10 years line, Bitcoin started at $0.001 price and it has seen $69,000. So if you're starting with cryptocurrency, you should be prepared for this all bear and bull cycle. Now also need to understand that something that I want to tell you all, when you're starting with crypto, don't trade in crypto. You invest in crypto. Don't try to trade in crypto because crypto is very volatile. You never know when a price of a token can shoot up and also can come really down. So when you invest in that specific cryptocurrency, you are investing. We do trade after we understand the market, not on the day one like, okay, today I buy, tomorrow I sell and do that thing. Never do that when you're starting. Choose your coin wisely. Be very specific about what you're buying. Do you understand what their fundamentals are? There is one most important thing that most of the cryptocurrency have missing is the real world utility. Apart from the fact that I can trade these coins, there already exists a Bitcoin. Why do we need another 10,000 coins to just trade? So you should know what is the utility of that specific token that has been created. What I'm going to do with that cryptocurrency. So you should know what utility they have. 90% of the cryptocurrencies that are meant to, scam you will never have a utility. People are just trading them. So you read their white paper. White papers are something that gives you a lot of information. If you read 10 white papers, you'll understand how the white papers are written. And if you find somebody is just copy pasting what others are writing, that means they don't know what they're building. Now, high risk is high reward in this space. The more risk you take, the more reward you gain. So if you are someone who I know people who who bought Bitcoin when it crashed to what was it? Last time when it went till $40,000, people bought at that time and sold it at $69,000. But also there are people who took an exit at $69,000. There is one thing very important about being greedy in this space. And I can tell you from my personal experience, like this place looks so glamorous and so much about money that you'll see, okay, I invested $1,000, now it has gone to $10,000, and I like, no, I can also make 20,000. It's going to go up, 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 up. When you feel you have made enough money, take an exit. Don't wait for it to go beyond that. I bought Bitcoin at $10,000, saw it going to $20,000 and did not sell it at that time. And then saw it coming down again. So you should always know when to enter and when to exit. This market is so volatile that you can see your money getting doubled, tripled and 4 times in span of 24 hours, but you should always know when you want to take your exit. Choose your own strategy wisely. A lot of people trade in the direction of the market, like now because everything is going down, everybody's shorting. But some people want to trade on the other side, like everything is going down, now I'm going to go long. So you need to choose your own strategy. You should know what works for you and what doesn't work for you. Be patient. You have to be very patient in this industry. There's a possibility that you bought Bitcoin at this price, say today. You'll say, okay, this is 21,000 and maybe the price will not go below this. So this is my entry point. Now you bought it at $21,000 today. What if tomorrow the price goes till 10,000? Don't panic that, okay, now I have lost 50% of my capital, it's not going to come ever, and you take an exit at 50% loss. We have seen this cycle. So it's going to go up for sure. Blockchain and crypto are the future. So if you're invested for a long time. And again, don't panic, sell or buy. If you see something going like straight line up and they have already done 100x, don't buy at that point. Also, when everything is going down, there's always this line, we always know this. Everything that goes down comes up and goes up, comes down. So this is not with life, but also with cryptocurrency. So be very wise about everything that you do. And my personal advice is choose very wisely, start small. Because I would like to see a lot of CAs, entering into the crypto market. Now what's next? Okay. So this is a fun game. I know a lot of crypto people are considered very cool people. So I thought like, okay, to my peers, I also want to make them cool and I will teach you some jargon. So I'm going to ask you a question if you guys know the full forms or what does this word means. FOMO. Who knows what does FOMO means? Nice. Fear of missing out. This is a very well-known, jargon that we use in the crypto space, FOMO. What does this mean? Hold on for dear life. Do you guys know the story behind why it is hodl, not hold? So one day when someone was asking somebody that, are you holding Bitcoin? He wrote a wrong spelling. And that's how, it's a misspelling of hold. So yeah, we always hold to our dear life with crypto. Whenever you buy crypto, now this is people who are pro-crypto, crypto enthusiasts, who never sells their cryptocurrency because they believe in the future of blockchain and they believe in the future of cryptocurrency. What does this mean? FUD. Fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Now this is something that usually happen with new kind of cryptocurrencies. Now this also happened with Luna recently, where people had fear, uncertainty, and doubt about what is happening. Because the founders were not speaking about what they are doing when the crash took place. So there was a lot of fear, uncertainty and doubt, and that's where panic sell happen. A lot of people, when they don't know what's happening and they don't get update about the cryptocurrency, they try to FUD about different cryptocurrencies. What does this mean? ATH. All-time high. So we always keep seeing new all-time highs and we wish we'll again see another all-time high. Who are whale? Yes, people who have large volume of crypto. Now there are a lot of people who bought into Bitcoin and Ethereum at the very early days. They're still holding Bitcoins. There are a lot of wallets that have not seen any transaction for tens of years now. That means they're holding the most amount of cryptocurrency and they can move market either way if they want to. What's this? This is Lamborghini, get rich quick culture. And this is a very, very famous thing in crypto space, which is Lambo soon. So a lot of people bought a lot of Lamborghini in this industry, and I wish to see you guys, buying Lamborghini soon by making a lot of money in the crypto space. And I wish you all the luck to start your own journey with cryptocurrency. So yeah, this is my, you can contact me. I'm mostly available on Telegram, so you can, ping me on Telegram or write to me. I hope I was able to give you some insight of how to enter into crypto, and it was really nice to come and meet a lot of chartered accountants here. This is my first time I'm interacting with CAs in Dubai. So thank you so much for calling me here. It was really nice speaking.
Thank you, Firdaus. Loved your energy. And it never looked like it's your first session. Give a big round of applause for the energy she has shown for the session. Before I call on Chairman, Vice Chairman, one thing I want to acknowledge the volunteers, Praveen Jain, who was available throughout the day, and supporting us in running the venue today. Praveen Jain, where are you sitting? Thank you. A big round of applause to you. Can I see your, yeah, no, yes, thank you, thanks a lot. He's there. He was the person who helped us as a volunteer. We have started the initiative of needing helping hands from you. So anyone wants to help, there is a form already circulated by the secretary. Please subscribe for being a volunteer and we will take your help in running the shows. Now I will like to call CA Anurag Chaturvedi, CA Harikishan Rankawat, our past chairman Nimish Makwana, and along with that CA Malvika for on the podium to give a share of token of love. Do you have an acronym for love, a small word for love?
I don't know. I guess love is called love. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Firdaus, before you leave the stage, you talked about a private key. Don't share your private key with anyone. I have a question for you. What if the question is asked by my wife to share the private key? Not even my wife.
What happened to your credit card when you gave it to her?
The same thing will happen there. But problem is, my life is important, and that is why I have to share the private key. Okay, coming back. Finally, we have reached the last session of the day. This might be the last session, but the most powerful session, since it's one of the recent entrant in this space and concept is revolutionary. And it may take some time for us to get a hang of it. Metaverse. Metaverse is a parallel virtual world using technologies of AR and VR, augmented reality and virtual reality. We all have experienced these technologies in some form or the other, be it in movies, be it games, or be it in theme parks. Now, these technologies are changing the world and creating parallel virtual world. To understand more on Metaverse and to introduce our speakers, we'll request my two colleagues, because there are two speakers for this. The topic is so huge, one speaker was not able to handle, so we have to call two speakers to handle the same topic. I'll request my two colleagues, ever-energetic CA Amit Khaitan and always cheerful CA Dheeraj Ranseria, to come on the podium and introduce the speaker. We'll first request CA Amit to introduce Mr. Ben, and then it will be followed by introduction of Mr. Ajit by CA Dheeraj. Give a round of applause for CA Amit Khaitan.
Good evening once again. Today morning I was just scrolling down my social media handle. So I saw a very interesting tweet from a very famous crypto expert from Sweden. And his tweet was like, if you want to feed a man, give him a fish. If you want to feed a man for a day, give him a fish. And if you want to feed a man for the lifetime, educate him about the blockchain technology and the cryptocurrency. And I'm sure that we all are here and more interested in this, the second goal for the lifetime. And for that, we have an expert speaker in the house, Ben Toder. So Ben Toder is the CEO of the Moon Nation Gaming and has great experience as successful entrepreneur. He has a degree in the international marketing from the London School of Economics and Political Science. He is a person with a deep understanding of the crypto space and metaverse. He is having the broader level connects with the key people in the blockchain industry, and he is a person with the ambidence, energy level, passion, undying desire to take the projects to the greater heights with his hard work. So please put your hands together for Ben Toder. And Ben, my quick question, like since you have a deep knowledge of the metaverse, so if you have to choose one, the Decentraland Mana or the Sandbox?
Both of them are very good, but thank you so much. Oh, yes.
Good evening, all. It's my pleasure to introduce to Mr. Ajit Fatke, Head of Blockchain Development of VRU.com. Done his Bachelor of Engineering in Mechanical Stream from College of Engineering, Pune.
marched to US University of Houston, Texas for pursuing MS with specialized in optimization, robotic and control system. To gain on the field of experience, has worked at Tata Motors and at Quist Automation LLC, Texas. He was in 2007, that was entrepreneur bug hit, and he returned to India to start Cybernetics Software Private Limited. His strength has been in design and product architectures, and with this strength, he is being successful in developing various solutions used by thousands of customers globally. During the entrepreneur journey, there has been few failure and along with some major success. He believed the failure had taught him more than the success would have. With a goal of making the world better place, he works along with various social organizations, NGOs, and political establishments. His hobbies are reading, history, exploring technologies, human behavior. So welcome with me, Mr. Aziz Fatke, with a round of applause.
Before we start, I just want to say that I'm very happy to be here with you guys, and to all the speakers. I've been to many, many, many events before, and I have heard too many speakers. And I can tell you today, we have heard really very insightful and the information that we had. So after Firdosh spoke, I decided to go. You said everything. Well done, really. And I know you're all tired, so I've got two good news for you. We're going to make this one very short, so you all can go home. And the second thing, it's a strategy guide that we've made, and we're going to have it available for all of you guys if you need it. It's exactly what Firdosh's been talking about, just into a little bit of more details that will be available for everyone. You can have it. So, shall we?
Good evening, everyone. Yeah, so we will not hold you for long because most are waiting for the dinner and all that. But also at the same time, as we have gathered here, let's take this opportunity to learn and all that, right? So things will not happen again. And we are so lucky, means after a few years you will remember this time, because we are at a critical juncture of crypto journey. Like the way it happened for the internet and all that in 98 and 2000. Same thing at that juncture, blockchain, crypto, and metaverse is at this moment. So you are at right time, I guess, and right time to enter into market as well. So we'll like to give you some glimpses about the technical, because that's how we work in, he's like marketing and all that guy. I prefer to work in backend and build the products and systems and like that. So first, and also disclaimer I would like to have here, whatever I'm telling or he is telling, that's our opinion, and don't take it as a financial advice. But we don't want to hold ourselves, because when I was talking with a lot of guys, you are asking questions, right? And we don't want to run away like a bushes, giving you not concrete answer. So we'll give you concrete answer, but that's our opinion, right? So that's the laws. But we'll tell you, means like what's exactly, because not telling you is also not serving the purpose of having such sessions, right? If we give very politically correct answer, then it doesn't make to have this kind of sessions. That's what I feel. But again, that's with that star mark. That's my opinion, like how I look to that. Like if you ask me which coin to buy, of course I will give you answer. But that's my opinion. Don't take it as a financial advice, right? Okay. So, so coming to metaverse, that is our topic, to introduce you to the metaverse. So it's a very basic concept, metaverse, that this term was coined into 1992 in the science fiction Snow Crash. So the writer used this word like metaverse as a combination of meta and universe. So it's basically a virtual word. It can be anything. A lot of people have this misconception that metaverse belongs to Facebook. It doesn't. And metaverse is not some technology in itself. It's a generic term like email, right? Multiple companies have their own email servers. The same thing, metaverse. Nobody has that anything that is a metaverse. Facebook, they changed their name as Meta, and they also work in metaverse. So maybe a lot of misconception that metaverse is something technology Facebook is having or somebody is having. There is nothing as metaverse technology. It's a combination of all different parts of the technology. That's what makes the metaverse. But the next biggest opportunity in this crypto, financial and all that will come from this metaverse domain. I can for sure tell you, because always the technical sides goes into like cycles and all this DeFi, NFTs, and that has been seen their peaks. So next waves or hype or bull run is going to be surrounded around the metaverse. No, just come back again. So the progression is like in a very simple way. Even our grandmothers and our elder, they used to tell us stories. It's a metaverse only, right? We have heard Ramayana, Mahabharata, Cinderella. Those where they create some alternative word for you. So it's nothing but a metaverse of that generation. Then came the pictures, then came 2D, 3D, then AR, VR, like virtual reality, augmented reality. And I think from this generation, the metaverse name is getting tagged with this virtual. Means like you create anything which is not related to your current world, and that is called metaverse. So it may be gaming metaverse, it may be fashion metaverse, it may be social media metaverse. And then the blockchain, crypto, NFT is also getting tied up with it. So that's how the progression of this metaverse happened. Then the simple example I'll give you, Avatar movie, right? Most of us have seen that. I think that was the first example of metaverse into what everybody has seen that. So Avatar movie is a kind of metaverse. Then VR stations, what you see, you put on the VR sets, you go to the different world and experience that adventures. That is again a metaverse. Then Pokemon Go, which was based on augmented reality. I'll explain like what's the difference between VR and AR. So Pokemon Go was again a metaverse, but on the augmented reality. Then the components. Basically, there are two components into this metaverse, and if you track those components, then you will understand metaverse, and you will be able to take decisions whether you want to get invested there or not based on the technical parts on that. One is content, and second is user engagement. Content is like, how do you create that word? Like whether it's 2D, whether it's a 3D, whether it's a 4D or anything, how many senses it is triggering you, or how much universe they are building. Like for Avatar movie, they really made some setup and they augmented with the VFX and all that, right? So content creation is one part of metaverse, and the second is user engagement. If you plainly watch the video, it will be like, that interaction is just the watching. Then there are 3D movies, right? Everybody remembers Chota Chetan, that's where it started, right? So they used to give us goggles to see the 3D. So that's how the user interaction changed. Then came the VR sets. Your interaction, now you are getting immersed into that world. So your interaction is changing. If anyone has played Pokemon Go, it was like augmented reality. You are using your screen, but those are getting immersed into your screen. So these are different kind of user interactions. So two components of metaverse, one is content and another is user engagement. So as the technical things are moving forward onto both the things, content and user engagement, the metaverse is getting shape into very high-tech and immersive words, right? So this is the concepts and components of the metaverse. So I just wanted to give you, to tell you that it's not a rocket science, it's just the same thing happening from generations to generations. Now coming next, why we gather here and all that, understand what are the opportunities, where can you invest, how to look, whether you have to, is the right thing to invest or not, we'll talk on further. So here I will just explain this AR and VR. The way I said, VR is totally virtual world. You don't have anything related to your real world, and augmented reality is like some examples, like nowadays people give, you can view your apartment or any building and you can place the furniture, you can place the colors and so taking this real world and then augmented that with some components, like I can, if I want to see how this sofa will look in my home, then I'm just scanning my home and select sofa and then it places over there. So that's kind of augmented reality. And virtual reality, that designer will totally design that into 3D give it to you as a video. So that's the difference between AR and VR. Yeah, can you talk on this?
Yes. So, just potential segments for growth, like where can we use the metaverse? So we know the metaverse is there. What is it? Who owns it? No one. And the most important question is how we're going to use the metaverse, or like in what fields, what sectors. So we have in the education, and this is something that we are personally working on at the moment in our project Moon Nation Game. I'm just going to tell you a little bit about this, then I'll move to the next. So currently we're building schools on the metaverse, which is schools that are created by the 3D, but the interaction itself for the kids to learn few things, but what we're working at the moment is the fire safety. So we're trying to teach kids. We learned by the book and the paper and the pen, but now kids, they watch the phones, they watch the cartoons more than anything else. So how can we use that time for the kids, because they will watch the iPads and the phones no matter what you do. So instead of telling your kids, don't watch the phone or put the pad down, we have given you something now that you actually give to your kids to learn using the pads and the phones, which is learning by gamification. So when your kids watch or play a game, that's not any game anymore, and it's not any video anymore. It's educative. So the kids, from now on, they'll be able to learn, and the parents, now they know that their kids are not wasting their time on or in front of the screen for hours and hours and hours. So we have created this. And the second thing now, because I've started with this because I've got kids myself, and I've been thinking all the time, like when they grow, and now Isaac, he's 3 years old, and he's on his pad and phone like endless of hours. So we had to find something to replace the content and what they do with this. And the second thing, which is gaming. So before we used to, you know, I really didn't play much games when I was young, but still I played few. The gaming, normally you just hear with the console, the character is there, but now in the metaverse you could actually see yourself inside the game, playing that game and interacting inside. And that's the literally only difference between what's the metaverse and what's the normal world that we used to live. And again, I just want to point this, the most important thing that I personally think, the metaverse is not a word where we want to replace our current word. We want to have it parallel. Do things that we can in the real world and things that we imagine, we want to do it on the metaverse. So this is something that I'm really worried about personally, when we have people who, I mean, you could see them everywhere. Like they live in their own zone, playing their own games, they're in their room and completely detached from the reality. And this is one thing that we don't want. We want this to complete the other thing and not one take over the other one. So we really must, now that we're building this, we have to be careful and teach others on, this is not the real life. This is it. But this is to complete this. Things that we can't do on our daily lives. This is the metaverse where you can be anything you want or anyone you want. But still, there is the real life next to it. And virtual avatars, where you, again, it's exactly just that, where you create your own self, but on the metaverse. Entertainment, and now we have seen actually this, we've seen singers in the US where they have held live concerts. Well, I think Justin Bieber did that. I'm not too sure, but I think he did that, where you can see him from his own comfort zone at home, but you still can just put on your VR and you can see him like in a real concert, but he literally wasn't there, he was at home. So this, again, one of the things why I'm too excited about the metaverse, which will allow all of us to do so much in so many places, but still we can be physically in one place. And in the fashion industry, and that's what Jay will be talking about, which the wear you. So now, and especially in the pandemic, where we could not leave our houses, we couldn't go to the shops, we couldn't go and buy things, so we had to come up with something new, like how could we be in the shop without being in the shop itself. So creating a 3D avatar with Fit Virtuo, where you could literally be at home with a simple selfie, you can create your own self, and you can choose any garment you want, any suit, shirt, t-shirts, shorts, whatsoever, and you can see yourself wearing those clothes in different environments. So let's say tonight I was coming here, right? So I was like, I want to buy a white shirt, but I don't have time to go to the shop and choose and pick this one and put this one on and probably move to the other shop. So what I'm going to do, I will go to this app, take a selfie, and then choose my site, and then choose the shirts or whatever garment I want to buy. And I can actually see myself in a conference environment, moving around. Then if I'm happy with it, then that's the shirt I want. So I saved a lot of time, and time is money. So I saved a lot of money by doing just that. So this is one of the benefits of the metaverse. And again, stores and e-commerce is exactly the same thing that I was just mentioned, just that I talk more than I should, so I've said it all. Where are we? Yeah, so this exactly like I mentioned before for the concept that's been done on the metaverse. So people could literally have, fun, entertainment, education, and celebrities connecting with their fans and the digital assets. I've got just a few things to say about this, the celebrities connection with their fans, which is something really, really important because I'm just going to talk about the music industry. Because now the music, the talents, the artists are not getting anything. Everything is going to the big companies' pockets, and the artists barely make about 10 to 20%. So creating a whole metaverse for artists, so now they will have to deal with their own fans directly without the need of going through bigger companies. So what the artists will be doing, hopefully, and this, again, not just us, everyone else, we're trying to build this, like token fans for the artists. So the artists will be feeling more appreciated by the fans because it's a direct link. I will listen to my fans, I will know what they want, and I will give them just that. And the fans now, they will be able to support directly their artist or idol. So I know instead of me putting $10 in buying a CD, and I know only $2 will go to my artists, the artists get depressed because they're not getting what they really do deserve. And us as fans, we're spending too much money on someone else that we don't even know. So we are trying to create this where the artists and the fans interact between each other through the blockchain and via the NFTs. This is really, really long subject, but I'm just going to leave it here for now. Do you want to talk about the challenges? Challenges, issues, problems. It's Jay who deals with that. CTO.
See, the way I started, why we're at this juncture, like the way 98 to 2000 was for internet. If you remember those days, internet was flooded with lot of website, lot of e-commerce companies, like not e-commerce, I'll say lot of internet-based companies, right? And 2000.com burst happened, and everybody was wondering what, it's so useful technology, then why it happened, like why it got dusted? Because it had no real world use cases. It was just like crowded place. Everybody was putting something on a website, and they are creating millions of dollars. Same thing is happening with the metaverse. Like, everybody is trying to do something without having some real world connection and all that. So if you want to get into metaverse, these are the challenges, and how you can tackle that, I'll also tell. Like, first challenge is missing link with the real world. Like, whenever, see, there are two kind of investment. One, you can invest on the hype. Of course, you can get lucky, and you're like, ape or this kind of, I personally think it's a nonsense. Like, one day it is going to crash, obviously. Like, you know, there has to be some intrinsic value, some utility of that thing. Otherwise, of course, that's not foolish to invest into that. It can be a strategy, like, you know, ride that hype. But then you have to be very expert when to enter and when to exit. If you are not expert into that, then don't ride this kind of silly hypes. Like, you know, it's like a theory of bigger fuller, who is more full than you. Means you have to find more full than yourself to like hand over that bag. It's like a Sangeet Kurchi we play, like to whom give this asset, because it has no value as such. So always this is the first challenge, having some real world connection of that utility. So always look for that, whether this business, this thing is going to survive for 10 years. Imagine in 2000, so many .com companies busted, but Amazon was there at that time. And imagine somebody buying Amazon at that time, and he would have been a billionaire. So you have to find these kind of opportunities, like what will be the scene with this project I'm investing after a few years, whether it's related to real world, what is that, like, you know, it will change some way people behave or use of that. So that is the first thing you need to look. Second is hard to pursue economic value. Like even we being front runners into this blockchain crypto world, sometimes it's very hard to, like, you know, I could never imagine like some NFT, some digital work has no artist or something, just something like that, and selling for 14 million, and like I couldn't even make sense of that. So forget about people who are outside of this. So that is the second thing, very hard to perceive the economic value. And then the low market penetration, it's not gone to that level where everyone is like, you know, talking about metaverse or something, like investing into that. So these are the three biggest challenge. So how to overcome that? If you have to take investment decisions, first criteria you put is always look who are the people behind that. Look at the people, look at the team, like, you know, if the people are great, they can like pull up the things, but even if people are not that good, then even greatest of things cannot be pulled up. So first criteria, you always look for the people who are behind that. And from my experience, I'm telling you, 90% crypto projects, those are run by people who are sitting behind the keyboards. Like, you know, nobody, forget about Satoshi, though he was a visionary and all that, but you cannot tell that every person is behaving in that way. So 90% in crypto projects, most of like, you know, very shady background people and sitting behind keyboard, nobody knows who they are and you don't have any control. So always look for that, who are the people behind that, what is their, like, you know, background, what is their vision and all that. That's the first criteria you should apply. Second is, does it have something to do with real life? Does it have some utility? Like it shouldn't be only hype. Of course you can write that hype, but if you want to invest in and forget about that and you are imagining, like everybody says that, you know, invest and not trade, then for invest, you have to make sure that that entity, that project, that utility will go on for at least few years. Like where it will be for 5 years, 10 years, then only you invest. Otherwise you trade. If you want to invest, you look for good team, you look for great utility, don't invest in hurry. Like you go through what's happening behind that, is it really useful? So these are, if you follow these two things, looking for the team behind that and looking for what is the use of that. And third thing is like how market is adopting that. Sometimes it may be very good concept, but market is not ready for that. Again, then you can invest, but you can keep it like for the long term. So if you follow these basic rules, you will never get like, you know, most of the time you will be successful into this. And the second part you can do like trading hype, that is fun money. I always tell like crypto, even though I may like, you know, we run projects and all that, crypto is like a casino. Like 90% people are going to lose and 10% people are going to win. And everybody will show fingers at those 10% people. And very sad to say, but it's a fact. Most of the people who run the crypto projects, they are like a casino operators. They will always earn. Right, so I'm telling very honestly because I'm like, you know, back in tech and I see very sad when people lose their hard-earned money and all that and just like, you know, scamming, or because it's a very murky word and it's very faceless word. So anybody, trust me, it's very simple to like, you know, scam into this word. But if you follow these rules, find out the people behind that, don't make any decision in hurry, look for the people, look for that product utility and all that. There you invest. You also have some money. I also recommend that, having some money to play in casino, right? Who knows, your jackpot might be get it. So keep it like 0.1% of your investment portfolio, 1%, and just like throw the dices, like, put in some hype and some mad ape or some NFT will go up and that 1% becomes 100%. But remember not to spend much into that, and always remember that, okay, this $1, I'm buying a casino coin. You need to forget about that. For the investment part, you have to go through all this process and all that. So in the context of all this,
Sorry, just one thing that I want to add to this, because we always have this conversation. When there's a very fine line between a trader, an investor, and a gambler. So it's really important, because when I speak to too many people about this, like, oh, Ben, where should we invest? And I was like, look at this, I like it. And I was like, okay, first things, what do you like about it? Everyone is talking about it. I was like, okay, now you speak like a gambler. So you decide, do you want to be a trader, do you want to be an investor, or do you want to be a gambler? Because there's an absolute fine line between the two, and it's very easy to, you think you are a trader, but by the end you're just a gambler. So this is the thing that I always say: be a trader, don't be a gambler. And one important thing that I always say to people, and this is probably the rule number one before you even think about investing, the first thing you always do is you only invest what you can afford to lose. Yes. Whenever you go, either to stock market, I've been a trader, stock market for the past 10 years. I've done all kinds of stocks, from the pink sheet to Tesla. This is the most important sentence that I've learned throughout this whole years, which is only invest what you can afford to lose. Never invest more than what you can afford to lose, because then the troubles, the issues, the gambling starts. So I just remember this now, and I just wanted to say it to you guys. Sorry.
Yeah, thanks. That was, and he's a really good trader. Sometimes he gives me tips. That helps. Thanks for that. So we, whatever we learn or whatever we feel that we need to tell you about metaverse, we told you. Then we'll show you two examples, like on the gaming side, what we are doing onto the educational side. Because see, now even you must have heard like play to earn games or gamification and like a lot of crypto games. But at some point, that doesn't make sense. It has to translate to some useful case of that. So that's where Moon Nation game is going into education. Like Ben said, the simple line is like we are gamifying the learning experience. Because earlier we used to read, then it went to audio-visual content, but still it's a one-way process. Whatever is being shown to you, that is you are grasping that, but how much you are learning, there is no feedback. So, but in gamification, you can always like, get the feedback, whether that student is learning, if that person is learning, and if you win that game, that means you have made that all the steps correctly, you have learned those steps, and that is what the next gamification of learning will happen. And that's where this metaverse, gaming metaverse is going. So we'll just share one video, like it's a very, very simple thing we started with, like, if you got like small kids, then how to train them basic for the fire safety. So there are like, with the Association of Fire Safety Association of India, we are building this platform for fire safety, where there will be modules for the kids, then the teenagers, then the housewife, then the fireman. There will be different kind of games, and like when they win that games, they will get that certification on the NFT. So that's where we feel that that's a real world use case of NFT certification into the education, or that kind of games where you train the people with that. So we'll just share one sample video with you for that. The first module of small kid getting learn about how he fire safety in the computer lab. So can you please play the first video?
Just before we do that, I just want to add a few things to what Jay just said about this. Thank you. So what we are currently building on the Moon Nation game, which is this edify sector. So why we're building it? For two things. Because we're trying to solve two, probably few, but we'll talk about two issues. First things, foreign certifications. And when you link anything now to the NFTs, which is on the blockchain, it's something that you cannot change. It's unforgeable. So it's the most secure proof of concept and proof of purchase, of proof of originality is the NFT now. Even now, I've seen that some governments are trying to have the passports given as NFTs because there is literally no way you can actually forge that document. So that's the first thing why we are trying to get this certifications from these institutions via NFTs. So when we say Jay owns this, or he earned, or he actually passed the test and he got the certification, he will have an NFT with it that proves that he's the only person that actually has passed that exam. So the main reason behind why we are building this, so imagine there is this fire institution in Pune, right? And you have people in different regions of India. It will actually take them time to travel to that institution. It will take them money to pay for that travel and the accommodation where to stay to actually have that course done. And for the institutions, they have an issue of the capacity. They cannot do more than 100 tests per day. So by building this on the metaverse, we're actually solving these two issues for the students, or for whoever seek this certification. They don't really have to travel now. From their own house, they can learn and they can pass the test via playing the simple game and the camera that proves that this person is the only person present in front of their PC or laptops and playing the game. And for the institutions, instead of running just 100 tests per day, they could do literally 1 million tests per day. So it makes more money for the institution, and it saves a lot of money for the person seek the education. So these are the two main reasons why we're building this. This is just, again, just a demonstration of what we're building as proof of concept that shows, again, how we want our kids to spend their time looking at their iPads or their phones. And this is one of the examples. Thank you.
Good morning, have a nice day. This is my school. Come with me, I will show you my classroom. This is my computer lab. She is my computer teacher.
Short circuit happened. Students, don't panic. Please cover your nose with wet handkerchief.
Now follow me to fire exit. Fire exit door is closed. Please crawl on the floor. Now please go to the open ground. Now take stairs and go outside. Now I'll go to open ground. Now go to open ground. Congratulations, you successfully escaped from the short circuit.
So what we've seen now, guys, this is not just a video cartoons. This is an actual game that the kids would play. And hopefully when we release the VR version, the kid actually will be the one going on their knees, walking around. So, but this is I strongly believe this is the most powerful way how we can teach our kids the simplest things by actually doing the thing and playing it on the game. And that's how we got stuck to their heads. Well, Jay will be talking about the Where You. I will stay next.
So the way we explain like how we are looking gaming metaverse and trying to bring the real world use case. So the next is very interesting thing I want to share with you, like, the Where You. And honestly, like again, that star mark, it's my personal opinion, no financial advice, but I'm that confident one day you will remember that we were the first batch who learn about Where You, which became a multi-billion-dollar project. That I can assure you on this, and I really thank for your all the committee to give us this opportunity, presenting to us here, Chairman Anurag ji, Vice Chairman Harikeshan ji, then all the distinguished your treasurer, secretary, your executive committee member, and then the past president, everybody who is working, then the volunteers gave us this opportunity. So I thank you from bottom of my heart, and all the members who are trying to grab whatever is being conveyed to you. So thank you again. Now coming to Where You, now imagine the fashion metaverse, like real world use case and the metaverse, right? So what we are doing, we'll also show you the video of technology. Basic concept is, it's a virtual trials. Like there is a machine we have made, it's a patented technology, since team from ITs and professor, they are working since years onto that, and it's based on machine learning and AI. We have made one scanner, within 3 to 5 seconds, it scans any garments, like your ghagra or your lehenga or your shirt and all that, and it makes 3D of that from scanning the garment. You don't have to make actual 3D some designer. You just scan from that scanner, and 3 to 5 seconds, any, my blazer, it will make 3D of that. Then we have the app for the users where you just take your selfie, and then it will make 3D of you. And now you can choose any brand, any garment, and you can create your 3D avatar, and you can see how you look into that. So before making this decisions to buy it or not, you can buy any garment, and we are extending that to other accessories like shoes and jewelry and all that kind of things. So this is kind of first time it's happening with this, and we can't name but in all the global brands we are in touch with them and trying to push that technology from their stores and all that. So we'll just share with the video, and then we'll talk with more. Second video, please.
Where You provides an avatar-based virtual trial room solution for shopping outlets, designers, and manufacturers. It has 3 elements: My Twin, 3DFY, and VirtueFit. My Twin is backed by artificial intelligence that creates a hyper-realistic avatar of the user. 3DFY is our patented and proprietary scanner that automatically designs a digital twin of the apparel. VirtueFit puts all these high-fidelity 3D apparel on the avatar. The first step in this process is to create a user's avatar through a selfie. The user then selects a body type. My Twin takes care of the rest. Avatar is animated to mimic a person's behavior in the trial room. The user can try as many apparels as they wish almost instantaneously. One can zoom in to see all the details on the fabric and also zoom out to check the overall look of the apparel. Different animations are designed to beautifully demonstrate a wide range of apparel types. VirtueFit simulates multiple ambient environments, be it indoor fluorescent lighting or yellow incandescent lighting, to visualize its effect on the fabric. At the heart of this experience is high-fidelity 3D models of the apparel, which are created using 3DFY. 3DFY is an easy-to-set-up, highly scalable scanning system that you can assemble anywhere, be it your client's basement or warehouse. For scanning, all you need to do is put the apparel on the scanning platform and press a button for the scan data. The scanned image can be fine-tuned and then gets uploaded to the cloud, where our AI creates a 3D model from it. Where You is built on the combination of machine learning and artificial intelligence that not only creates a 3D model of stitched ethnic apparel, but also creates a 3D model of a blouse, even if it is completely unstitched. With this, we provide our users the ability to try more apparel than a conventional setup without any hassle, and possibly from the comfort of their homes.
Yeah, so I think you got the essence of this technology. Now imagine the metaverse of this, how much real life problems this is solving. First is you can try, like your virtual trials, you can take up any dresses. Think from the retailer point of view. You don't have to photo shoot all these, the normal practices. Whenever they design any apparel, they invite the models, then photo shoot everything, then the video editing, taking the posters, the cost involved in that. Again, if you try designer dress, you cannot reuse that lot of time. So that is again a cost. Then the same dress you need to send to all the different, in the traditional setup, different stores. So in this one, they just need to scan, like their dress doesn't get damaged into this one. Again, they don't need to send this piece to every location. We also have this life-size mirror where the users can see themselves in real life situation or on the home. If they are at home, they can see on this mobile. Now this is virtual trials for these retailers. They are bringing all their SKUs onto the marketplace really fast. We are also providing APIs for the e-commerce where they will just like Amazon or Flipkart, they will put the button, try on me. They don't need to come to wear you. There will be, and it will become a standard practice, like, in future, for any purchase you are making, there will be a button. It's like try on me. Then it will take your selfie. You can try that outfit on you. If you like it, then you buy it. And that is what the services we are integrating with the e-commerce with this one. Now coming to Metaverse, we are also providing virtual fashion show platform on this, where designers will select their famous celebrities 3D avatar, like, and they can create their design and have this virtual fashion show on this VRU platform. So you don't need to bring everybody here and you can showcase your dresses to like a lot of people and all that. Then the next part of NFT and all that, any users can mint your NFT or celebrity can mint their NFT from this platform. Like, how means on this dress, or this apparel, with this jewelry, with these things, I'm minting my NFT, I'm putting that on sale. Even users can mint that and they can either they can sell or they can have that as their Facebook profile or Insta and all that. So all the social media integration is also with this avatar integration is going on. So this is the kind of metaverse projects you need to look, there will be few of such cases where there will be lot of real world use cases, and then if you go into that kind of projects, then you will be far safer than just chasing the hype and all that. So always ask these two questions: what is the team behind that projects? What are their credentials? And then what's the real technologies? So that's with this, I think we have given you enough material to get into metaverse things, or what is that is and what are the things to look for. And yeah, we are open for any questions, not only metaverse, but anything you have, any questions, we'll honestly answer that and will not give you very vague answers. Thank you.
Guys, this is the last bit, just the PDF. If any of you want to use it, please feel free to ask any of the guys or Amit or I don't know. It will be available for anyone. It's a very simple, short guide explaining like the jargons, the words, yeah, just a quick brief on I've literally made this because I've got too many DMs and questions about people asking me how to invest or where, or again, a disclaimer, this is not a financial advice. I'm not selling anything. This is just a pure thing that I've done, that how I do my trades, and I gave it to the people. Just again, we've made money long before in the stock market, and when the crypto started, we're doing this for the mass, so people can actually, trying to learn a thing or two, maybe, and one day just say a simple thank you. That's exactly what I'm after, nothing else. So it's there for anyone. It really, it describes the basics and things to the T, to the small details. It's available for any of you guys. So thank you very much, guys. I'm very, very pleased to be here with you all. And I'll be very happy to see all of you again. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you, Mr. Ben and Mr. Ajit, for that mind-blowing session on Metaverse. As I said, it will take some time to sink, but it is also a reality which will happen in future. We'll request CA Anurag Chaturvedi, CA Harikishan Rankawat, CA Amit, and CA Dheeraj to join me on the podium to share a token of love on behalf of us. And please, I request all of you to take few more minutes to sit with us. If we can wait for 3 hours, we can wait for 5 more minutes if possible.
So a lot of people ask the question always, they ask always the question that where do you shop all these suits and all, everybody. So even Hari today is looking very smart. I think we are using the Veru version of my wife, so she scans, but now it's much easier for everybody to use this particular app and find out what suits you better, so you can pick and choose the right combination of your attires and make it more vibrant, more smart. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Finally, that's a wrap. But without acknowledging our sponsors, we will be considered a failure in our responsibilities. I would like to thank all our sponsors, starting from title sponsor, Saudi German Health, our principal sponsor, Pan Home Furnishings, AGMC, Tally, IFCO, and Lulu, our platinum sponsors, WMS CloudSook, Emirates Chartered Accountants Group, and UHY James Chartered Accountants, our FMCG partner, Aktia, our media partner, Khalij Times, our banking partner, Bank of Baroda, our institutional partner, Delhi Private School, our event partner for this event, VRU, and Yoshi Markets. Thank you all to all our learned speakers, guests, and our members for making this event a success. Signing off as Secretary in Action for the day, CA Jayaprakash Agarwal. Thank you. Thanks a lot.